All right, welcome everybody to the Triple Option. We are live. We are on YouTube on the 411 Sports World Network. Today is November 17th, 2024. You see the panel's already full because there's some great information we're going to talk about, great subject matter we're going to talk about today. Heisman Trophy race, the playoff race, the SEC race. There's just a lot going on. The group of five, we're going to see who's the contenders and who are the pretenders there. So we're going to kick all this stuff off. But before we do that, we want to thank you all for tuning in. Buckle up, get ready, because the show's about to begin. All right, welcome back. That track, man, was given to us and brought to you by music by J Tones, my brother Terrence Jones. Music by J Tones. Check them out. Music by J Tones at gmail.com. Say that one more time. Music by J Tones at gmail.com. Terrence
Shout,
Jones.
shout out to you, Keaton.
Indeed, big shout out. Make sure you follow us at Mr. 411 on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, Mr. 411. All right, gentlemen, let's get to it. Man, week 12, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. So, man, but we're going to talk about first, give everybody an update on what's going on at all divisions of college football. But we're going to definitely go ahead and talk about this real quick. All right. The SIAC championship game was yesterday. Miles College defeated Clark Atlanta. What a season for Clark Atlanta. Uh, just a year ago, they was, near the bottom, but they brought in a new coach, brought in a lot of players by the coach and followed him to Clark, and Clark just turned that around their season and made it to the championship game, making it over the likes of Albany State and Fort Valley State. So Clark Atlanta made a huge jump. We're going to hear a lot more from Clark Atlanta as the years go by here. But congratulations to Miles College for winning the championship. And the game was played over at Miles over there in Alabama. So a big shout out to Miles College for having winning the SIAC championship. And we'll get y'all comments in just a second here. The CIAA championship was played yesterday as well. And congratulations to Virginia Union for defeating Virginia State. And that is back to back for Virginia Union. So congratulations to them. Comments, gentlemen.
Shout
Uh,
outs to Clark
yeah,
because they're not really known as a football powerhouse, and they're usually to the mid to the bottom of that conference. But I guess they decided to invest in their program by getting a coach in there that can actually get players in there that makes them compete because their side of the conference is head to head with two perennial monsters, Fort Valley and Albany State. So shout out to them.
yeah, I'll second that. I mean, that just shows you coaching matters. When you got great coaching, you're gonna have great players, and they work hand in hand. So, I don't know too much about those conferences, but salute for them to go from a worst to first situation and make the title game. So, Big ups.
Yeah. And the
Yeah,
biggest thing about it with me is the more competitive the games are, the more attractive those games are going to become for people to watch. So, which indirectly will grow those conferences on the back end.
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Blake because he also they have a now a famous field. They have a red football field there at Clark Atlanta, similar to what people would think about the blue field at Boise or the red field up in Washington State, and also the Arthur Blank Foundation provided a blue field for Albany State University. So things are on the rise here in the SIC and CIAA.
That's
I
good.
know.
Love to see Arthur Blank using that Home Depot cash bill. Man, that's cool.
Yeah, but I know the story behind that new dome that Mercedes Benz Stadium because it sits right down there, and it's only he should. I put it to you like that. What went on with where that dome sits and what they had to tear down for it? Yes, he should be putting money back into them schools.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it was a couple
very
of
good.
communities that was subject, but that's for
Yeah,
another time.
that's what I was getting at. That's why I'm like I'm gonna pass
Look,
on. But
I ain't from
regard,
Atlanta, but I already know.
yeah,
There you go.
Hey, it
You
was some
not from
it was some casualties. That goes into the gentrification.
gentrification and how we respect our history. But I can't.
Yeah,
He asked to buy it. They sold it, so I can't get mad at him.
there you
Let
go.
Yep.
history do what yes,
History can be moved. Money buttons need to be made.
exactly.
Hey, and speaking about money, man, this college football playoff, there's gonna be some money made with this thing, and
Oh yeah,
so we have let's go ahead and start with that matchup in the SEC because it was basically it could be a possible eliminator. I think it would have eliminated University of Georgia from the playoffs if they had lost that game last night, but they pulled it out, man. They defeated Tennessee. And the voices you hear, by the way, Philly Red Zone and Coy. Um, I'd be remiss by not welcoming them in here. So those are the voices that you do hear.
man, that
Exactly.
game last night. Wow. Tennessee was held back by their quarterback. Man, I mean, they had every opportunity. But that young man, he reminds me of a watered down Marcus Mariota, man. Without touch on the passes and field awareness, and it was. If they had a better quarterback, Tennessee would have won walking away. Because I mean, they had every opportunity, but yeah,
Mhm.
it was just big ups to Beck. He didn't throw the game away. Yeah, at times he tried, but they just played they just played better football than Tennessee.
And they overcome that defensive line from Tennessee because them boys are quick and
Oh
aggressive.
yeah, oh yeah, and that
And
cornerbacks as well, man. It's sticky.
exactly.
Yep.
Shouts
So
out to
bet.
Georgia. They did what they had to
Hmm.
do.
Yeah.
But
And again, do you feel like that? We're gonna go in more detail about it later, but do you all
Hmm.
feel like this was a playoff eliminator type game?
yes, because if Georgia lost, they were out.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Three losses. You're not even in the conversation. You're playing in the Boca Raton Bowl or something like that.
The what they call it, the not the Capital One, but the
We
I
had the
don't
Weed
know,
Eater Bowl and
the
stuff like that.
the
Yeah,
Aquaculture 533 Massage Bowl or whatever the hell.
Yeah. Yeah. So that would have been rough, man. But Georgia did put themselves back in the mix. Their next two games, uh, I think we all agree they were winnable games. So I think that they will, at this point, finish out 10-2
I don't know.
overall. Georgia Tech, I know that's
Georgia
one
Tech
of them.
Oh
Georgia
no,
Tech is
Tech is a scrappy
Texas.
team. That's
They're a
not a
giant
gimme.
killer. They're a giant
Yeah,
killer.
it's not a gimme. They run the ball well, and Georgia is having problems stopping the run.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, you guys are feeling that. So okay,
Yeah,
well Georgia Tech
We
did beat
ain't wrong.
Miami.
yeah, they did, and they ran the ball right down their throat.
Yeah.
All right, well
It's not. It's
Georgia
not.
better
It's
buckle
not.
up then.
Yeah,
It's not a spread option. It's just that they beat Miami at the line of scrimmage.
yep,
Hey,
yep. Hat on the hat.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
All right. Well, I'm just gonna name a couple other games right here from the SEC. I think South Carolina pulled out a victory.
yeah.
Um, Another victory. South Carolina did. Um,
and I believe
let's
I told you
see.
in the beginning of the season, Missouri, they're a pretender. So they
Hmm.
falling like they are. So
Yeah, they started falling.
Yeah,
Yep. LSU falls to Florida at Florida.
yep,
that's a
yeah.
bad loss.
Bad loss.
Bad
Florida.
loss.
Mm,
Florida may be going through another coach. I'm gonna see
yeah,
how much it's gonna see how much money that alumni is willing to keep giving up. So we'll see.
yeah. And LSU might be getting another coach if what's the name keep on losing games
Told
like
y'all,
this.
I done told you. I've told
Mhm.
y'all. Good coach, wrong fit.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, that's our SEC roundup there. Oh, Texas won too,
Oh
and
yeah.
they won by 10 against Arkansas.
They
Um,
did what they had to do.
they
They,
did.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
mean, but if you want to look at the line, they should have put more work in. So,
Okay. And how about Texas A&M guys? They're a team that could possibly throw a monkey wrench in this whole thing. So what are y'all thinking about them too?
Mm,
they could.
Because
they
they have
could, but
Texas coming up.
I'm not sold. I'm not
That's what
sold
I'm
on
getting
A
at.
and
That's what
M.
I'm. No.
Yeah.
They can't. They can't play defense.
Yeah.
Nah, that's the biggest thing.
But they're limited. That program, that team is limited. They face, a Texas or a team with some moxie to them. They're gonna fold the tent. Texas A&M do it every year.
Exactly.
All right. Well, hey, give a shout out here to Antoine. He is now in the studio. So what's up, Antoine?
What's up, Antoine?
Yes,
Mic check,
indeed.
Antoine. Looks like he's here.
Yeah,
Double
he's
check that
probably
mic.
muted.
Yo, what's going on, fellas?
Oh,
Hey,
there he
what's
is.
going on,
Hello.
man?
All right, what up,
Can
Twan?
you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now, loud and clear.
Oh my God, I
Uh,
don't know if this is me. Can you
can you
hear
Yeah,
me?
hear
your
us?
brother. Yeah, we hear him. So
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, I can
So
hear
that's
you now.
good. All right, we all hear you. You hear us. You are here. We just covered the SEC segment of the show with UGA surviving there as far as surviving the playoff eliminator situation. A loss would have taken them all the way out, and then we kind of just ran through the conference there with the Florida defeating LSU, et cetera, et cetera. You can wrap up our SEC segment. Give us your thoughts on the SEC for this week 12.
Uh, the SEC is just it's like we call it Chinese standoff or whatever. I mean, everybody's killing each other in the room. So they the I
Mexican
heard you talk
standoff,
about
not Chinese standoff.
what do you call it? What do you call it? What what I'm saying? Where everybody's got a gun
Squid
pointed at
Game.
everybody's head. Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm saying so everybody's killing everybody else. Say the
Yeah.
wrong thing, politically incorrect, my man. But
Yeah,
y- y'all know what the hell I'm talking about.
I'm with
All
you.
Um,
right.
you getting
YouTube, please
canceled.
don't block us.
but yeah. but you know what I'm saying. But everybody's what I'm saying. Like you say, everybody's running into each other, killing each other off. And then you kind of like you say, you kind of got Texas A&M who's really schedule. You know what I'm saying. They kind of avoided a lot of the bigger dogs, and so you know, and then it's making the Big Ten look a lot better than they really are. Um, I mean, that is that the big is that the Big Ten I'm talking now? Big
It might be, because that's where we're going next. If you're talking about with Oregon
yeah, the
and
Big
Ohio
Ten. So
State,
Yeah.
It's almost a big two right now, guys.
So yeah, they kind of they're kind of the same way. They're all those guys aren't hitting each other upside the head right now because of scheduling. So they look a lot better than they really are.
Yeah, they call them
Well,
the big. They don't even call them the Big 10 because the other one's the Big 12. So they just say they're big. I don't know how this works anymore.
yeah, I mean the way things are shaping up anyway, the college, the landscape looks like one day it's going to be two conferences, and that's the Big Ten, the SEC. The way things are going, they're kind of galvanizing the country, but we'll see long term. But Oregon, ranked number one, they
Mhm.
survived at Wisconsin. I
Yeah.
think we all will agree that this was not an impressive victory, but it was a victory nonetheless. Keeps them at the number one spot. Guys, what did y'all take from this, guys?
Oregon should have lost.
Yeah, Oregon should have lost.
Yeah.
And Oregon is going to be, it's going to come down to, can Indiana beat Ohio State in 2 weeks? Then that'll be your championship game. If Indiana loses, Oregon's got a date, got a date with Ohio State.
Yep. And the outcome will not be the same.
Yep.
Because Oregon was exposed by Wisconsin last night. They were exposed. The quarterback was exposed. Their defense was exposed. I mean, they, all that playing lateral, fast pace, all that. Wisconsin put a dead to that. It's just unfortunate that Wisconsin quarterback threw the game away and didn't get those guys a chance to win. Because of his INT. But yeah, I can see Oregon falling if they face Indiana or Ohio. I mean, or Ohio State, because those are two tough, gritty teams that they're gonna bring it in the championship game against them.
I mean, and yeah,
Yeah,
like you said, the result will the result will be definitely different. I mean, Ohio State game is just one of those things where just at the end they just saying one less possession. So either way, this could be Ohio State number one or Oregon. What I'm saying with the loss, but I've never trusted Oregon. That I've never trusted that Pac-12 football. So they may be in the Big Ten or whatever, but that's still Pac-12 football, and I just don't trust it. So
Exactly.
all right, gentlemen. Okay, well there it is with them. So let's go ahead and jump over here to this. This is going to sort of lead us to. This is going to sort of lead us towards the playoff situation. But let's go ahead and talk about this real quick. There was an upset yesterday. Kansas
Yeah.
goes in and takes BYU out. I know a couple
Mm.
weeks ago I kept mentioning BYU that they can get in this thing,
Yeah.
but they can't. There's this is one of the few teams, one of the couple of teams, and I know we're gonna mention a couple more that cannot afford L. And this L to me knocks them all the way out. But what do you guys think, man?
well, if you watch Kansas, I'll hop in there real quick. But if you watch Kansas, Kansas has been playing some really good football. They played Kansas State real close. Last week they played who was it they had last week?
Oh,
That
Iowa State.
yeah, they beat Iowa State.
Yep.
Beat them up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so Kansas, I think even if like Corey was saying, like if you check the line, man, I only think they were giving Kansas like 3 points. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
Kansas has improved as a team, and it goes back to all that same as Mr. 411 likes to call it, gimmicky stuff. I think BYU just their gimmicks just ran out. They had some closer games that they could have lost earlier this year, and you know it just mounted up for one today, yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually watched that game because I wanted to see what BYU was, because I'm not, taking time out to watch any, BYU games. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
I
What's
know, I know,
BYU doing?
I know, Mr. 411 brought him up, so I wanted to see, and I watched it, and I wasn't impressed.
Nobody watching those.
I wasn't impressed.
BYU is
I,
not worth me.
I was not impressed at all, man.
Yeah.
Nah.
Hey, Philly, you was not impressed to be staying up about 2 in the morning to watch that mess, were you?
I know, right? One eye
I
open,
got,
one eye closed. It's like, all
Yeah.
right, I need to see the result. And
Uh,
I mean, the way Kansas won, they had a rabbit foot and a lucky horseshoe because
mhm.
I mean, on a what they did a pooch punt and it hit the BYU player in the helmet
Right.
and
Right.
the BYU player went to fall on the ball and the ball squirted out and then the Kansas player fell on it and their running back who's not getting a lot of pub just scored his 47th touchdown or something like that um, on that play. And I mean, Kansas tried to lose the game. They tried to lose it, and they just buckled down. BYU couldn't, run their gimmicky offense because Kansas did play, sound football on the back end and closed it out. But yeah, I'm just glad the whole BYU talk is done because that
not done
they were
yet.
going to get they was going to get trounced. They're going to get trounced in the playoffs if they get gifted. I don't think they should be in the playoff at
Well,
all.
they're not done yet. They're not done yet.
Yeah, because they can technically still win whatever that Pac-10 and get the bid or whatever.
The Big 12.
Whatever, man. What I don't know
Where?
this crap no more. What?
Nobody knows
What?
what.
It's SEC. It's SEC, Big Ten, and then it's just the rest of them. You know what
I
I'm
know.
saying? That's just how it might as well get that way because that's how it really boils down.
So the
But
Yeah.
question: will they play Colorado?
I think they still have don't. Well,
No,
Yeah.
Colorado
We'll.
still has to
if
play Kansas next
Colorado,
week.
they're 1-2 in the conference, so Colorado wins out and Duke and
Duke.
BYU. I'm sorry,
Not Duke in the conference too. Oh
if
man.
BYU
They
and God damn it, BYU and Colorado win out, they will play in that championship game.
okay, okay, and
Okay. So
Everybody,
Duke in the Big 12 now. Okay. All right.
yeah. So basically, they control Colorado and BYU control their own destiny. They have a path to the playoffs.
nice, nice. I like that. I,
Yeah.
I'm kind of
That'll be.
biased, but I think that'll be a good game.
All
You
right.
know
Yeah.
what's that old adage too? It's better to be lucky than be good. And like you
That it.
said, I mean, they had a rabbit's foot with a damn leprechaun and a damn horseshoe and every other lucky thing. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes that's what they say. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than to be good.
So true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
Yeah. It
true.
is. At the end of the day, you want to get that W. And
Yes.
that's what Colorado did yesterday. They
Yeah.
got another W. They're 8-2 since you guys brought up Colorado in this Big 12 conference with
Mhm.
Duke in it.
Utah,
Yeah. So yeah. So
Utah,
Colorado.
Utah, Utah is down this year, but to me, that was the most complete game I actually saw out of Colorado.
Yeah. Yeah. They got more than 20 rushing yards.
Yeah.
Exactly. And and and
Yeah,
and and, and,
Shador
and against
Shador didn't get sacked 15 times. He probably, you know what I'm saying? He
yeah, and it was against a
maybe
team
8.
that we know normally can compete with some of the better teams of the
Oh
country. So
yeah.
even
Yeah. They
though
bring a defense.
even though they're down, that was a good look for Colorado. Now, do they deserve to be higher than the number 18 team in the country? No,
Nah. Nah.
but that was a good win for them guys.
Yeah, and I got a question for Mr. 411. Hey man, did you use
Yes, sir.
your journalism context to reach out to Dion to give Mr. Hunter the ball as a running back? Because I mean, I saw that and I was like, wow, they're actually doing it.
Hey
Yeah,
man,
they're creating now they're on a Heisman. See, that's I
they're
don't
on a
know.
Heisman hunt now.
Yeah, it's like I don't. I get it. You got to do something, but geez, dude,
But come on, man. I mean, for real. If take away whatever you feel for Dion,
I have
and
no
you
problem
just
with
look
Dion.
at. But okay, I'm just saying. But if you look at the players on the field and what college players have done, this young man is doing something we have never seen before.
Okay,
He's
and
a champ.
are we going to save the Heisman talk, or are we going to go there now?
Okay, well, my bad. I didn't mean to go in there. No. We can wait. We can wait. I'm just,
Oh,
but I mean, we just started talking about that. But like you say, Colorado
oh,
played a very good game yesterday.
Yeah, it was a great game.
Offense, defense, and like you say, the best player on their team showed you why he's the best player in the country. So I leave that part of that.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
very good.
And
Travis
I'm and
Hunter
I'm, I'm
is a man.
and I think Warren Sapp was probably the MVP of this season.
Oh yeah, he got that
Ooh.
D line playing,
Oh
man.
yeah, man.
Who is number 41? That kid was all over the field, man.
Yeah, guys, but they played Utah, so you know.
I can't even. I'm not
I
gonna even lie. Outside of the big three, I don't
There
really
it
pay
goes.
attention to that
There
roster.
it goes.
they play Utah, guys. But
Come
you
on with
know,
it. Come on with it,
we, we,
411.
we, we
Now they
just got
now they playing
we just got
Utah.
on BYU. So you know, I'm
Oh,
just saying
we
But
will we
BYU
will we
lost.
right
we will
uh,
agree. We will
all
agree.
season.
I agree. I will break it down to you like this: if Indiana can be undefeated and catch hell, why are we giving Colorado a pass on their schedule with 2 losses?
With 2 losses.
No,
Yep,
no. I
yep,
mean, you're right.
and a squeaker against a FCS team, North Dakota State,
I don't
at
care.
home.
I'm not, I won't do that because it happens. If we know it all happens.
Well, I'm
I
just
wish I
saying.
could pull. I wish I had something to pull it up. Who has? I mean, Indiana's most impressive. What they beat Michigan, right? An unranked
That's better
Michigan
than
team.
Utah.
Hold on now. Are we really gonna go schedule for schedule? Colorado versus
Well,
Indiana.
well, actually,
I'm
just
just. I
yeah,
don't
go ahead,
disagree with
bro.
you.
Go ahead.
I don't disagree with you, Coy. Again, I'm just saying, if if you're undefeated, you're gonna get, what I'm saying, and you're in one of those big conferences, you're always gonna get the push. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna give you the
Okay.
nod.
All right, hold on. What did
Hold on, let me
Colorado do
finish out.
against the?
Let me just finish
Okay,
out. And so again, do what we've seen from this committee or whatever, they really do look at, I think, week from week as teams
Hmm.
progress, if they get better, how they win, who they beat, how they look winning. We now know all that stuff makes a difference in how they rank you and where they put you at. And
Yeah.
so both teams are benefiting from, I guess Colorado is benefiting from some of the Dion hype, some of the Heisman Trophy candidate that they have, and Indiana is benefiting from the fact that they're in the Big Ten, whatever it is, and they're undefeated. So
Yeah,
but
I would
again,
agree.
but if we want to compare, you say who did Indiana play and who did they beat, right?
All
Do
right.
you
Well,
really
let's
want to go?
let's.
yes, sir.
Do we want to
Well,
have that conversation?
I'm
Who
just
well, we
did
can
asking because I
now.
don't.
No, no,
I'm
no.
just
let,
This is
asking
a
let,
because
good
I
thing.
don't know.
let
Hey,
me
guys,
hey, y'all just
I'm
get in
guys,
the
just being
car.
honest. I don't know. I don't know.
Get in
Corey.
the car. Get in the car
Hey,
and let you
guys.
ride with me for. Let me just ride with you for a quick second. Let me get this one over with.
Well, Corey. Before you crank the engine up, I'm just gonna let you guys know. I'm gonna try to put the schedule right in between all of us and flash it through so you all can have some reference points.
I
Okay.
don't even
Here
have,
we go.
I only need September 7th and October the 19th. But Indiana, September the 7th, Colorado played a team called Nebraska, and then what happened?
They got
They got
blasted.
beat.
They got
And
beat.
what did Indiana do to that same Nebraska team?
Beat up 56-7.
Okay. If we want to go like opponents, there you go. Right or
Okay.
wrong.
No,
My
no,
point
no.
being is the original point is they give Indiana for being undefeated because of who they played, but Colorado's schedule overall is just as weak or weaker than Indiana's schedule.
I
And
don't
I'm
disagree with that.
taking
I don't
But I
disagree
mean,
with that.
Indiana has
and
a
we're
better schedule though because
right,
I mean they're
Yeah.
playing teams that either was in championship games, won national titles, or was in playoffs. I mean, or have the
correct.
every year. And for them, they got to go head to head with Ohio State next week. And
Yeah,
if they find a way to beat Ohio State, which I mean,
it's possible.
I'm kind of leaning towards
Okay.
them because of their
FIU,
style of play,
Western Illinois,
then I
Oh, let
UCLA,
mean,
me correct.
Charlotte. Okay.
you know,
Okay. Wait a minute now. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
He
What happened to Nebraska?
was reading those
I just
dynamite
started looking at
opponents.
these people. Court just told me they were beating up on FIU, Illinois, Northern. Yeah, you start calling off them. Okay,
Michigan,
FIU,
Nebraska.
Western Illinois. Yeah, they beat
I
Michigan.
mean,
Hey, I told you. Yeah, they beat Michigan.
And who else they
Yeah,
beat?
but Michigan is not the same Michigan that
I know it's
when
not, but it's the
Harbaugh was
defending
there.
national. That's why.
Yeah,
That's why I particularly picked Nebraska and put them in the middle,
yeah,
and the results between the two. My point
like
remains
opponents,
is
definitely.
my point remains is that one team is 9-2. If you want to say their schedule is the equal, one is 9-2 with the same type of schedule, and the other one is 11-0. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
and because this argument that we're having came from the point that someone said Dion should be the coach of the year versus that coach at Indiana. And I stand on the ground that if Indiana makes it to the championship game and beat Ohio State, are we really gonna say as much as we love the story behind Prime and much as we all Prime fans that what he did in Indiana is not more impressive than what Prime did at Colorado this season? Because we're talking like for like as far as historical records and teams and rebuilding the program, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's impressive.
But we
Both
saying,
programs have been down. Yeah.
but are we saying we should give it to Prime because we like him more?
No, it's not a light contest. Well, those awards is all popularity. I'm
Right.
gonna ask you a question. What's the name of Indiana's coach?
Cinghetti.
Huh?
Cinghetti.
Did you Google that?
No,
because I'll be honest.
No,
I
because
knew
we've
it.
been,
he
we've been on
he
it.
looked it up because
We've been on
somebody
it.
was gonna ask him and he didn't know. Because I
No,
don't know
that-
either.
The only reason
No,
why we know,
You
I'll
go
be
ask
fair.
95% of the
Coach-
population, they don't know. Ask
Tell
95% of those sports fans,
Tell 'em,
they don't
Coy.
know who the hell he is.
The only reason
Tell
we
'em, Coy.
know, because I knew his name sounded like spaghetti or some shit. But the
How
only
many
reason
weeks ago we talked about this team?
we've been
Okay,
talking
well,
about him. We talked about that coach moving. So he was.
How long has he been there?
He moved from James Madison over there. He brought players with him.
Yeah.
How long has he been in Indiana?
Because we had a discussion about this because I was saying that he may be the next Nick Saban. Remember that point? And you were saying no, right?
No.
You shot me down on
Yeah.
that.
He's not next.
The next Nick
Because-
Saban. Boy,
because he was comparing it to how Michigan when Saban went from what was it?
Toledo,
Michigan State.
Toledo,
Toledo,
and
Michigan State, and then he moved on. And I said it's not the same as back then. And also, we can go into it right quick. Nick Saban before he was at Toledo, where was Nick Saban working at? Do anybody remember that?
What?
He worked in the pros, didn't he?
Cleveland Browns.
The Cleveland Browns on a staff that had Belichick, Romeo Cannell, Weiss, basically all borderline Hall of Fame coaches or some of the best in the business ever. And so it wasn't like he was just in Parcells.
I ain't saying he was going to be Nick Saban exactly, like literally be him, but it's going to be a similar kind of situation. Let him wait till he lands the SEC job. Wait till he lands that SEC job. You'll see.
Man, you better
it ain't gonna. It's not gonna.
You can't. I will say it now. You will never have the dominance that Saban had in the SEC again. You just
nowhere.
It won't be exact. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that he's
because of NIL that will never happen again. Because of this NIL, it will never happen again.
But he will make the path. That's what I'm saying. Not the exact. It ain't gonna be exact. I agree with that. Totally. But go ahead.
Well, like I say, I get what you're saying, Coy, and I'm not again. If this man goes out, even if now next week is going to be his test. If he can, how they're able to handle Ohio State. Now, if they can mess around and beat Ohio State, yeah, I mean, any coach, man, any coaches that now are being successful in this NIL era and able to pull it off, they are doing some heck of a coach. You know what I'm saying? They're doing some great coaching jobs, especially when you go from where they start to where they are. No, I mean, I'm gonna say why. I'm gonna give you my reason why. Because like you say, if we look back at Nick Saban and Kirby Smart and all the other
Mm-hmm.
guys, you used to be able to hoard those players, and you used to be able to
Right. Good
control
point.
where they could go. There
Good
is no
point.
controlling all those players now. If you got
It's not,
guys,
but it is.
they have to play. They have to
Mm-hmm.
play, and they have to play a lot. If not,
But
they're going somewhere else.
Yep.
we say that we
They
all
packing
say
up.
that. We all say that, but I'm here to tell you, if you notice what you don't see on the transport portals, and
What's
if you
that?
notice them offense and defense alignment. So the Power Five teams has managed to manage whatever way. There's a lot more money than any other money keeping them big boys sitting in their houses. You see what I'm saying?
I wonder how
So
much they paying linemen, by the way. How much are they getting
they eating
money?
good because they ain't
What are
going
they
nowhere.
getting?
Fat boys don't eat when they got food at the house. They don't leave the house. So all I know is whatever they doing to keep them guys. Because what I do see is quarterbacks. I see wide receivers, but those the
Oh
what
man,
prime what Dion needed his program. Because once you get them in as a freshman, they understand pretty much real quickly that I'm going. They can pretty much guarantee them where they're going to be going to the league, and all you got to do is stick with the program. Whereas the running backs, wide receivers, corners, those people they feel like they got to be seen because
Well,
they
they
got to be
do
well,
because
seen.
their positions is predicated on stats. So if you're not
Right.
getting the receptions, if you're not getting the
Mm-hmm.
touchdowns, you're not getting the yardage,
yeah,
you're not getting the money.
you're
A
right.
lot,
Yep.
offensive linemen, if they don't hear your name and you show up on tape where you can run block, pass
You could be
block,
on an 0
you
and
you
9 team
yeah,
and be a
but
monster, and you're gonna get drafted at number
there you
two, number
go.
one. Yeah. So that's so until so there still is a glass ceiling on that part of the game. That part of the NIL has not broke that ceiling. And the thing that
No,
most of the time, these NILs are basically sponsorship money that the coaches and it's hard to garner that type of money for just a big dude because he ain't got no personality. He's just a big dude. You see what I'm saying? It's hard. You don't
yeah,
have
to an extent. But like you said, I mean, but one thing that you can always look at too, them big old offensive linemen. Especially offensive linemen. Where do they go to school? Northern and
Yeah,
Western Michigan, Illinois Community College. Like you say, they'll be somewhere in the damn smallest corner of North Dakota, and like you say, somebody will take them and they'll go and make it to the NFL and have a damn 12-year NFL career. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
So that part of it, you're right. Like it it doesn't it doesn't necessarily like you said, what we see on TV, and that's one thing we never look at really is
Yeah,
offensive linemen. But what you said, what Philly was saying is right. When you're running back, you're receiver, tight end, even linebackers, I got to get tackles. I got to get out there
yeah,
and
you
get
got to get
tackles. You know what
tackles,
I'm
man. You
saying?
can't be out there just running around being a gym
Yeah.
rat. You know,
As a defensive back, I gotta get interceptions. I gotta get pass blocks. I mean, like there are a lot other than lines. You know what I'm saying? And
and you
even the
got to be on
defensive
TV.
line,
You forgot that. You
yes,
got to be on
and even
TV.
and even the defensive line, you got to get sacks. You got to get
Yeah,
quarterback hurries. You got to be able
well,
to create double team. Yeah, you
well,
do, man. Yeah, you
what
do.
is the
I mean, it
what are we
to
when with a defensive lineman, you can tell they don't have to have so much as have to be in your face as far as
no, that's
the
changing,
camera
man. That's
because no
changing.
if I
That's
think about it like
changing.
this think about it like this a lot of the there you have the Cleo Max and you have the ones that are making that climb from a nobody to somebody. But when you watch film, when it comes to offense and defensive linemen, you can literally see impacts of those players without all the glam. If you're out there scouting or you looking for what you're looking for, you take a defensive, you take a perennial problem on the edge, and you're like, dang, they say he's pretty good. Then you start looking and like, oh damn, the other end is start making plays, or the other tackles making, or the linebackers making plays. You realize, then you start looking at the film, you're like, oh, they double, they triple T. You see what I'm saying?
But
Yeah, but
what did you
also
say? Yeah,
too,
but
Where
what did you say? They got what film? I got to get
it's
film on you,
scheme.
right? The
Yeah,
way
it's
you gonna
scheme
Yeah,
get
but
fits
film
you
is
got
too.
to
if
remember,
you're on the field
you
playing.
also got to. Right.
You got
Think
to be on
about
the field playing. And
Yeah.
if you're, I mean, like, like I said, if we go back and you look at some of the, like Alabama's, line and Georgia's line a couple of years ago, you know what I'm saying? Where you got, what's the boy, Walker, when he's the number over one overall pick and we don't know anything about him because you're still worried
it.
about, Davis boy and all the other guys that were
Yeah.
there. So,
Hmm.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it does matter, man. You got to.
I mean, it matters,
I
but I
still
guess what
believe, especially like I say, on that defensive side of the ball. Anything other than offensive lineman, I can agree with you. I agree with you on that. But everybody
all
else,
I'm gonna say is, why don't you see him in the portal like you see everybody else? You don't see offensive and defensive linemen in the portal. There's a reason why.
But that's gonna be changing because
Well, if I had a team,
programs
that's what I would be
program
doing. I'd be
yeah,
overpaying for linemen.
programs like Oklahoma, Iowa, Nebraska, Michigan, they put out linemen, man, and they put out first round, second round linemen. And you get in one of those programs if you at a Chattanooga State or Ithaca College and you just a big guy on campus and you go to one of those programs and let those offensive line coaches get you in their program, teach you how to really set your hips and drop your feet and transition block and pull and do all the things that offensive line do that'll make them stand out on tape. And then they go to that Senior Bowl because most of those guys are going to be, seniors or fifth year seniors, and they get to that Senior Bowl and they show that they can do all that. Dude, they top, one if not, three picks in the draft.
Oh, but see, now you're talking about moving up a division versus
Mm-hmm.
jumping from team to team.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially the same thing. They're going from one program, to another. Even if you go to an FBS school, you can go to North Dakota State. They have a great pedigree of putting out linemen. You know what I mean? You got certain schools that do that.
My point is, you're okay with the NIL, with the position players, with the skill players.
good Lord,
They're jumping around for just to be seen. I mean, just that half the time we don't even know why the kids jump from school to school. They just wake up one morning. That's why I don't like DBs and corners and all them funny fake players.
Look at you, man. Stop. No. My man just told you why it was because you got to be put. You said it. You got to be put on film, and then when you got to have
TV
stats,
time, brother.
You got to have stats. Though, I mean, like, who's gonna waste a pick on a receiver? Okay, if it's Julio Jones. If Julio Jones goes to Fort Valley, he's still Julio Jones, but like, is somebody gonna say, "Hey, I want to put a first round pick on this guy"? If I just don't have those kind of eyes on him, or if I don't, know that he can do that against the big boys.
If Julio Jones,
bad.
All right, I got somebody. Hold on, I got somebody. I got two receivers for y'all. I got two receivers for y'all. DK Metcalf and AJ Brown. When those guys was coming out of Ole Miss, DK Metcalf, he should have been a first round pick. He fell late into the second round pick. AJ Brown should have been a first round pick, but he fell into the second round. One had a knee issue and one had a neck issue. Both of them suffered against having low stats. And all those receivers that went before them, they can't even hold their helmet. You know what I mean? Now between those guys, because both of them were studs and they both went in the second round. You know what I mean? Because they didn't have the numbers.
Hey, man, way to pick a Seahawk and the Eagle.
Hey, man, I'm calculated.
I can give you that, but my biggest point is you don't get linemen on the portal. It's very hard to get them. You have to almost they have to be.
Is that because of the developmental position? Is that why?
Well, that and you covered what you want most. Most coaches at their heart would tell you, you give me offensive defensive line, I'll figure out the rest.
That is true, but I would say the mentality. I would say the mentality of offensive linemen is different from your DBs, your receivers, your running back. Those are more your diva, flashy positions. Offensive linemen, if a coach embrace them and get them an opportunity, most of those guys are going to be loyal to their program. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And that's just that. It's just that military type mentality that offensive linemen have. You know what I mean? They just different.
But even on the
that
defense, I mean, you look at Les Miles won a championship. What was that run? What was that running back? The white guy? They call him He-Man, whatever the hell he was. With
Hey,
with offense
what
and
year
defense
was that?
line and just run the year. No, I'm sorry. They beat Bama the first time, lost to Bama the second time. But literally, Les Miles made the LSU program back to glory with just offense and defensive lines. That's literally
Yeah,
all he did.
yeah, that's football
So
though.
but that's exactly. So most
Yeah,
coaches will tell them, the boosters and everybody else, they will straight up tell you, if I had to make a decision, the quarterback sounds cute and all this other stuff, the alumni but let me get this tackle and this edge rusher and these uglies up front and make sure they stay here. Give them everything you want.
yeah,
wait a minute, man. Les Miles had that gum, Patrick Peterson, and what kind of DB that man that had like all work. Stop
He
that,
had
man. He had
hold
some
on
help.
and
Odell
I had to
Beckham.
go back I had to go back. Man, this man had like who else he had at DB back
oh
there during that time?
no, I'm not
He had some
denying the
this
talent.
man.
I'm not
Yeah, he
denying
had
the
good
talent.
offensive linemen, but this man had like 2 or 3
Oh,
shutdown corners, like back to back to back. You know what I'm saying?
I
Who was
got
it that
you.
was
I
after
get all
Peterson?
that. Honey Badger. You had Honey Badger. You had oh God, I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, I'm trying to
But
think
Yeah,
all
Patrick
the
Peterson.
guys,
yeah.
but it
Yeah,
wasn't.
he had
He
players,
had,
but
But
yeah,
Travion
but the
White and those
foundation.
guys.
But think
Yeah,
about it like this: Les Miles could not. Les Miles, like you said, he had all these wide receivers. Les Miles could not coach him. Les Miles
you right.
is a subpar coach. But what he understood was, if I hit you in the mouth up front, I can let that talent show.
Yeah,
And show it. It basically goes with all the powerhouse programs. It's
yeah,
when Ohio State had them Bozeman boys and the other kids at the time, they could hit you in the mouth because they knew up front you had problems. That is why they will not let those linemen go. Name one big lineman. You won't get. Bet you what, like you get a Cam Ward, right? You ain't seen that offensive defensive lineman moving like that. You don't get those. You don't get those popping up. That's
but
all I'm
but
saying.
like
Well,
but like my man Philly said, it is a lot of times with the offensive lineman and defensive lineman, they're sold on the offensive line and defensive line coach. You know what I'm saying? They're
yep,
not so much going just because of whoever the head coach is.
yeah,
They found an offensive line coach or a
I
defensive line
don't
coach that
disagree. I don't
that
disagree. Why they locked in? But I do
but you
know
know,
this much. I can
yeah, I
find me a
mean, and then
quarterback.
that's the biggest thing.
I can find me a running back. I can find me a court. I can find me some corners. I can find all these things. You know what I can't find? 6'5", 350 with ballerina feet. I can't find them everywhere. And
No,
nah,
they're
running a
not. Yeah,
four
that's
nine
yeah.
five flat 40. I can't find it everywhere. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do everything in my power to keep this kid on campus. Your mom want a new refrigerator? She got 2. I'm just being honest. It's just gonna be what it's gonna be.
well,
That too, but
well.
that too, but what else?
Oh, go ahead, man.
My bad,
Go ahead, Point.
but what else is going to happen? That kid is going to play. That's what I'm saying.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Yeah.
the difference.
All
But like I
4
say, between
years.
the old eras and the way it was like, you know, you would go in and you would sit your year or two, and then
Hmm.
your junior senior year with your times to shine because the guys that were in front of you. And like I said, they didn't just let you go where you wanted to go.
Yep.
Hey, you can get out of your scholarship, but you can't play nowhere in the SEC or the Big Ten. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
that may be a condition of your releasing from your scholarship. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That none of that happens anymore. I can go
No.
where I
Right.
want to when I want to. But like you say, when you got a guy like that, when you have those kind of rare defensive linemen, offensive linemen like that, if they're freshmen, they're going to play. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They're going to play. And that is the biggest thing when you got guys that are log jammed at positions like wide receiver, like uh DB, running back, you know what I'm saying, especially running back. They're gonna move, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna move somewhere where they're able to get touches because
I
again,
don't disagree
that's
with
what
you.
that's what's gonna get them to the NFL. Their stats are gonna get them to the NFL more than
Mm-hmm.
what linemen do.
But what I say, guys, is if I'm a new program, I'm starting 4-1 University. I'm gonna pay the linemen like they paying these quarterbacks, and then
Oh
that's how I'm
yeah,
gonna build my team. I'm gonna build my
yeah.
team
Well,
that way.
the problem
I'm
is
be
you
like, forget
can't
y'all.
find. The thing
But
is, the thing about
I'm
6'5",
gonna I'm gonna put them away with the.
340.
I'm gonna pay them like you paying these QBs. You got
No, you
QBs
send your
turning down
scout.
$10 million deals and stuff, man. What's up with
Hey,
that?
Corey, you can find them. You just got to go to Nebraska. You got to go to Oklahoma. You got to go to
You can't just
Ohio.
have
You
no.
you
You
got
just
to
can't
go to
get them. You
Iowa.
better go get. I won't see. You know what? Yeah, you can find
but
them,
what
but
did
I
we
want.
just
I'm
But what
talking
did we
about
just say about
go to those
those
high
kids
schools. You got to
leaving? It's
come to
hard to get
Yeah,
those
Texas.
kids to
yeah,
leave
yeah.
where
That's
they
what I'm talking
are.
about. You can
Right.
go to. I want them boys from. I want them. I want them 6'4", 350 from Miami. I want them Atlanta, Dallas. I want them California. I
Nah.
want them ones.
See,
Them the ones I
you want
want.
the show me cities. No, I want the blue collar kids
No.
that want to
I
that's
want the
gonna
Okay.
live in the
most
gym
physically. I
that
want
eat
the most
tree bark for
physically.
breakfast.
I want the most physically. You tell me. I
he
want the most
deadlift he
physically
deadlift
talented.
cows after he get out of school. You know what I'm saying? Then
There
dunk
you
them.
go.
He,
His
he
his
doing
his,
I
squats.
want the most
He
his
doing
great
physically
squats with the
granddaddy
talented
owned a
man I
bull
can
farm.
find.
he
Yeah,
doing squats with the goats and the hogs when he
there
get
you
out of
go.
school. You know what I'm
He
saying?
trying to
There you
put.
go.
He
There
got to
you
I
Oh
go.
want that.
boy.
he got to pull the
He show
tractor out the mud when it's stuck. You know what I'm
there
saying?
you
Like
go.
yeah, like
He
them
showed up to
Hey,
practice barefoot with overalls on. Give me that
yeah,
kid.
them kind of
Give me
cats
that kid.
different, man.
Those are my guards right there in my
No,
center.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right there.
that's right. Your guards and your centers, but at my tackle, I want that boy that can dance a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He can drop
yeah,
them knees and move a little bit. I want that athlete. I want him. Hey, hey, that boy big as so. I want that. What's that kid that used to play at LSU in Boston? The basketball player looking dude. He was on one of their championship teams.
Who? Big
who?
Um.
baby.
Beckham?
Huh?
Big baby.
Basketball looking
I
dude.
want the big
Oh, big.
babies.
Okay,
Oh
big
I
yeah.
want
baby.
them type. I want
Ballot
them
Steve.
type of
Okay,
athletes.
Big
You see what
baby
I'm saying?
Davis. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want, and
All right.
you right, you're right. But I can, you know where I can go to get them? I can go down. I can go to West Point, Auburn, Alabama, Lee,
Yeah.
all them schools
Yeah.
over there.
Okay.
Mississippi. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this. Well, I'm
That's
gonna
what
tell
I'm looking for.
y'all. Well, this is what I'm looking for right now to win the Heisman is Ashton Genty, and we're just gonna be twofold right here, gentlemen. We're gonna talk about the Boise State, right, and their journey and their playoff push, and then
hmm
also we're gonna spin it into the Heisman conversation between him and Travis Hunter because I think after what happened yesterday in Oregon, that's gonna take that quarterback out of it, and
Oh
it's
yeah,
officially
Gabriel.
gonna be
Yeah,
down to
he's
these
out.
two. Right. So Boise wins. They started off slow in this game. I didn't watch the entire game, but they started off slow in this game. They ended up pulling, run away with it. And Gentry had another big
I'll be
game.
right back.
All right, gentlemen. Oh, okay, another big game. So Boise State, where are you guys at with Boise? Do you think they're going to be in the playoff, or they're going to represent the group of five? I guess the highest rated group of five, et cetera, et cetera. And then we'll go into the Heisman talk.
That's what they're gonna have to do. Represent the highest rated group of five. Cause and that's it. I mean, that's how they get in. Maybe.
Yeah, I really,
And
I'm
if they
with
they
you.
and they got if they lose another game, they're out. Like
Yeah.
Agreed.
it
Agreed.
is what it they cannot be a two-loss team and go.
No,
Correct.
no. And I think for Mr. Gentry, he needs the playoff in order to help his Heisman push. Because again, being on that screen, man, the voters, I mean, you can look at the stats, but the voters, they have a level of bias because they'll say, oh, he did all this against Saint. They're going to start looking at that schedule and they're going to look at those teams and see what he did against those, the San Jose's and all that. And they're going to turn their nose up to it, you know,
I got another question. How many rushing yards Gentry got as of right now?
what,
I mean,
3,000?
total.
Hmm?
I mean, he's gonna. I think he's gonna. Well, he should get up there with Barry Sanders.
He said
So
about
I think he's gonna get
3,000.
that.
No,
He said 3,000 yards.
I'm literally looking for the number right now. I don't really know off the top of my head.
Yeah. All right, we'll
Yeah.
get it. We'll get his game log. We'll get his game log up. But by the way,
Uh,
he did smoke. He did smoke Oregon. So if you guys can hear me,
Yeah.
he did run over Oregon.
Yeah, he
Uh,
did.
and at the time they were Oregon, and they still up there at the top. So he had a monster game against them. So it's not like if someone could say, well, he's not going to do that against a quality
All right, so
team or whatever. He did that.
But
he
is
is
Oregon known for
he's 11
defense?
he's 11
Nope.
touchdowns behind Barry.
But
No. He's
no,
11 he's 11 touchdowns behind Barry and almost 800 yards behind him in rushing. That just shows you how ridiculous that run with Barry was.
right.
Yeah,
Because this is amazing stuff that he's doing right now.
yeah,
Like you
no, it's
got to think
impressive.
about it. I mean,
Oh yeah,
this is
it's. I mean, against whoever, you know what I'm saying. Like, these are still Division I football teams. These are still, you know, some of the top of the line players that you're seeing, and he's doing a great job. But what the bias that he's gonna get is number. I mean, the things that are gonna hurt him are being out there on the West Coast when you're
mhm.
not on TV. You know,
Hmm.
hey, they shouldn't have to play at 2 o'clock in the afternoon just to get us to watch on the East Coast to watch them. But it hurts because again, nobody's gonna stay up to damn 11:30 for 11:30 kickoff. To watch Boise State play
Hey
San
man, put
Diego.
it that way.
Eastern Michigan Red
San
Raiders.
Diego. Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. I mean, I don't even.
The
Now
Wyoming
it's yeah. I mean,
Cowboys or somebody.
yeah, like who's come on, man? Ain't nobody finna stay up and watch that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that's gonna hurt him. As far as like the Heisman part of it. Now, if we're messing with them, Boise about the getting in one of the playoff spots, it is going to be one of the last ones, and they're going to have to win out. And somebody that's in front of them, some of these teams that are right now, these SEC teams, especially these SEC teams that they want to put in there with 2 losses, if some of them start taking on another loss, that may kick them out or kick them in. But as far as uh, somebody just saying, "Hey, we want to see Boise in there," is again the way this committee has been putting these teams in there. It has to be not only what I guess they deserve, but what the like what's gonna sell. You know what I'm saying? Because
There you
that is
go.
the biggest
You
thing
beat
now.
me to it. You beat me
What
to
is
it.
Notre
going to
Dame.
sell?
You
That's
beat
why
me
Notre
to it.
Dame's in it.
Yeah, I mean you're
I
gonna.
mean, it's all about money.
Boy, cause think about it. Cause think about it.
It is absolutely about money. Yep.
Boise lost to Northern Illinois, and no, I'm sorry. Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois. Boise loses to Oregon. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yep.
But they
yeah,
but
but
they gonna have to squeak their way in.
that don't matter because like my man was just saying, it's all about the TV, and the TV equal money, and what the networks want on their screen is a Notre Dame is going to get Notre Dame fans to sit down and watch, and non-Notre
So
Dame
that
fans going to sit down and watch.
so
But
that's what we got
Boise,
right
they're
there.
gonna be
Then.
like, oh man, Boise, who? Ah man, I ain't
Mhm.
watching no Boise State. I'm
Well,
gonna
that's what we
wait till
got
I'm
then.
gonna wait till the next game. You know,
So we got a Jake Paul scenario then. That's what we
there you
got.
go.
28-50, 8.5 yards rushing and 37 touchdowns. Gentry's at 18 something and 7.5 yards rushing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
I
yeah.
mean,
What he's doing is
he's
absolutely. I mean,
Heisman.
like you say,
Oh, well,
it's an insane thing. But
oh
again,
no, it's
we're
insane. But in order for him to push and win the Heisman, he has to be that ridiculous.
yeah.
That's
and
Yeah,
what I
and he got to be
that was
on
his only
TV.
way.
He got to be
and
on
I so
TV.
I don't right, and I don't know if he can get another 1,000 yards in 2 games. So
But
No,
but here we go with the since we're on the Heisman part two. Travis Hunter, who I believe is the best player in the game, but that doesn't mean you win the Heisman. The
eh,
best player doesn't mean you win the Heisman, and I
well,
think that has been floated out there, and that to me is not how you decide who wins the
no,
Heisman Trophy,
well, if you want to, it
Should
depends.
right?
It's
Well,
no,
I
it's
mean,
not
because I
best.
mean,
No, hold on,
we can go
hold
through,
on.
well, we
If
go
you
through
if we
decades.
go back, if
Then
we
let's
go
go
we
through
go if we
it
decades
go
of that.
back,
Then,
should. You're
no,
right.
no, no.
right?
It don't matter, but it
Well,
should.
if
But it
hold on,
doesn't.
hold on.
yeah,
He's the best talent in NCAA football
yeah,
right now. Now, Can you
Oh, is that a
say
difference from saying best player?
yes? It's very much different. He's
Okay,
the
I
most
want to hear
talented
this.
player, but he's the most talented, and he's probably the most valuable. You can argue that he's the most valuable player to his team. All right, but when you say best player, is he the best player at his
Go ahead.
positions?
I
When
think
you
Gentry
say he's
more valuable to Boise than he is to
I get all
Colorado.
that, but we're talking. I'm doing.
Oh,
We're
okay,
delving
okay.
into
Go ahead.
Travis Hunter. Is he the best corner in the country, bar none?
He's top 3. I mean, I
Exactly.
don't know.
Okay.
I don't know who else is in
See,
front of him.
but yeah,
I
he's
mean,
top 3. Okay. Is he the
yeah.
best receiver in the country?
No.
I'll say
No.
he's top 10.
Exactly. You see my point? But if you say is he the best athlete in the country? I think we all agree
Yes.
He's
yes.
number 1.
And would you
Yes.
say that if he's not on Colorado team, that team falls, he's probably the most
Yes.
valuable player on that team.
Yeah.
Okay. So those are the 2 points where he should win. That's where his Heisman ballot should begin and end. Right?
Yeah.
But if we
Hmm.
but when you say best player in the country, it's like, are you saying overall player? Maybe. Or you saying in his position? I would say it's arguable that he's number 1 in any one of the 2 positions he play.
Yeah.
Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
As
Yes,
well?
you can debate it, but I don't think he plays receiver enough to be the best receiver in the
The
game.
boy
Because
plays
he has
60 damn snaps a game. He's playing somewhere all game.
Yeah.
I think I
okay.
mean I think he the only thing
Okay.
I mean like
You putting him you sticking him back there in that defense too. So I don't like but go
What I'm
ahead.
saying,
You got it.
I mean, but they have another. I mean, like on that team, they do have another. What's
Right.
the horn kid is he, he's a pretty good receiver. You know what I'm saying? So
he's
it's not
he's an
like they
excellent
have
receiver.
to.
But my
It's
point
not
He's
like
is,
they
actually a
have
better
to.
receiver to me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's probably is just a pure receiver. He probably is better, but
Hmm.
that's the thing. Like
but your
if
question then
you
now,
don't
let me
have
ask
to.
you this.
You don't have to
What
depend on Hunter being your number 1 receiver. That's what I'm just saying. Like he
what
doesn't
Yeah,
have
that's
to
a
okay.
good
be
point. That's
your
I like
number
that.
one.
But if you look
I
at
like
it,
that.
being that Hunter's on the other side or on the field at the same time, do y'all not think that create opening? And y'all making me
No, it
No,
create
it
opening for the
definitely
other.
create
It create
opening.
opening for him, but it creates
I
opening
mean,
for him too.
you
Yeah.
saw yesterday. You saw yesterday when they were playing against Utah. I mean, Utah they
he
ran
is
a
a
cover 2 shell
effect.
over top of him because they didn't want him to run 9 routes because they knew their
Yeah.
cornerback couldn't stay with him,
Right.
and that opened up the
He
middle
has
of the field.
he literally affects the game. I'm not
Yes.
I'm not denying all that about him. You know what I'm saying? He
Correct.
affects the game. But all I ask is he the single best at either one of the positions he play?
No,
Definitively.
because he's not focused on one or the other. So yes, I agree.
Well, see,
But the
because I
question is,
well,
if I'm looking at it, my thing is, if he were to focus on one, he would be the best.
I don't know.
So
I'm saying
but he
I
Well,
may
think
see
he
not.
now,
had the potential to be the best.
the only thing I would say is that if he just stayed on the offensive side of the ball, could he do things to make himself look to be a better receiver? I do think that, but again, what we
Hmm.
say on the defensive side of the ball, okay, if you look at a good defensive back, he's not gonna have a whole lot of stats because you're not stupid enough to throw his
Throw
way.
the
You know what
ball
I'm saying? Like
exactly.
you try to if when Dion was lined up on one side of the field, hey man, whoever's on the other side is finna get the bit. I'm not finna try this dude. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
Like
Yep.
that just doesn't make sense to try a better defensive back.
The
No, it
best
doesn't.
That's not a
defensive backs
smart.
don't have the
That's not a
best
smart
defensive backs don't
defensive
have stats.
scheme. If you're asking me, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
You don't
Did
have the
B
best
Slaughter win the
stats.
Heisman?
Exactly. If you look at you go back and look at Cincinnati when they had who? No.
No, I'm saying did this B Slaughter guy win the
No.
Heisman?
Well, look here, man. We ain't get. Let me get through my
Champ
point real
Bailey.
quick. No,
Okay, go ahead.
But Champ Bailey's a Hall of Famer.
Yes, and that's not
Champ
Heisman.
Bailey's a
That's
Hall of Famer, first round pick.
and that doesn't mean you win the
But
Heisman.
no,
Exactly.
but my thing real
Hold on.
quick, and I'll get off of it.
Champ
No,
was
let me get
there.
off. Hold up. Let me get.
Go
Huh?
ahead, brother.
Go ahead, Booker. Go ahead, Booker.
No, I was just saying. My thing, like, okay, if you remember a couple years ago when Cincinnati had Sauce Gardner and I can't remember who the other. They're both in the
Oh
NFL, but the other
yeah.
guy,
Oh,
The
Stingley
Kobe
Jr.
Bryant. Yeah,
yeah,
Stingley
what was Kobe
Jr.
Bryant?
No,
What was it
Stingley
Kobe
Jr.
Bryant?
No, it's
Oh,
Stingley
Stingley.
from Stingley from LSU. Those were the
No,
two.
they were both on Cincinnati's team. It
You
was,
talking
I
about
think, it was,
Kobe Bryant?
Oh yeah,
Because
Kobe
he's in
Bryant.
Seattle.
Kobe Bryant. Kobe
'Cause
Bryant.
he's in Seattle.
I think Kobe Bryant actually had like better stats as far as like interceptions and
He
pass
did.
breakups and
Yeah,
all that stuff. But
yeah.
when we're looking at it now, who's the better defensive backs? Gardner was the
So,
better talent. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Just because
Oh,
he
good
didn't get
point.
those stats thrown his way, you know what I'm saying? He didn't get the interceptions and the breakups. Why? Because you don't challenge him. You try to challenge the weaker guy. And
Yeah, because
that's
the
a good
quarterback's
strategy in
seen on the
football.
tape. You throw it to
Yeah.
Sauce Garner, he picking it off going 6. And
Yeah,
they
so
didn't want that.
we're gonna try this other guy over here. Okay, so when he breaks up passes and when he gets interceptions, hey, he looks good. You know what I'm saying? But but like I say, that just all goes back to Hunter. I don't think he could really improve himself on the defensive side of the ball.
Mhm.
Just because I don't think they throw his way enough. But offensively, I think he could. Could he be the best receiver in the country? I mean, I don't know. It's hard. That's a hard one. But he could be better than like you say. Is he top 10? Yeah, but hell, that's still pretty good.
I don't deny it.
Oh, it's
Like I
damn
said,
good.
he is the most talented player in the league. But on defense side, he's not as physical as I feel he should be on as far as defense side of the ball. I get he's a little bit slight, and yeah, he's been in the weight room, blah 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 blah. But he could be a little bit more physical. And there has been times when I've seen him make bad reads and get got. So he does have some room to grow. But
Okay,
as
you're
far
right. You're right.
but as
He got
far as the
yesterday.
talent, yes, exactly. But as far as the talent goes, if we're gonna go Heisman, it's between him and Ashton, right? Can we
Yeah.
agree?
Now
And
I
My
have a
vote
question for
Ashton.
y'all. My
My
I'm
question
vote
gonna
for y'all.
Ashton.
now I'm
One
gonna
question
say
in regards to
Ashton
Ashton though.
has
Real quick.
yeah.
Mhm.
Could Ashton do what he doing at Boise on let's say with the SEC, ACC, or
Yes,
Big Ten school?
yes,
I
No,
don't know.
yes,
I don't know. I really
yes,
don't know
no,
because
yes,
see,
no,
yes,
I
no,
don't
yes,
know. I don't
yes.
know
no,
Look
because
at the line.
the running
Look at
back
his
from
line.
Tennessee,
Look
the
at his
running back from
line.
Tennessee is doing the
Tyrone.
exact same thing. The running back from Tennessee, I think he has like 20 touchdowns. This, what I'm saying, he broke somebody's long-standing record. He's already got like 20 something rushing touchdowns, and ain't nobody talked about him. Sampson, I think his name. Ain't nobody.
Well,
He ain't scratched the Heisman
no,
Barry,
because
conversation.
he's
So
Barry Sanders did it in his conference when he played, and
Barry
that wasn't
Sanders.
a scrub
Barry
conference. And
Sanders.
that wasn't a scrub
you
Y'all
said
conference when he
comparing
played.
Barry
you
Sanders
said
to
if this boy was in
anybody.
the SEC, we got somebody.
That's what
There's
I'm
somebody in
saying.
the SEC that's doing
So
something comparable, and we're not even
But
talking about it.
but
Exactly.
we can't even touch the
nah,
we
he's
didn't
not
have to be
Ashton.
we're
Ashton is
not gonna
projected to go higher than this guy, right, in the NFL.
I don't know if I don't know where they got Sanford right now. I don't know if he's even NFL. What I'm saying, I don't know where they got him, but I know he's doing something comparable, and that nobody's talking about him.
The only thing that's going to hurt Ashton at the next level, and nobody's talking about this, is his metrics. 5'9", 95 pounds. Can he stop the blitz? You know what I'm saying? Like that's stuff like that we're not talking about. We're looking at him running the ball. Yeah, he's elite running the ball, but it's those small, intricate parts of his game that not being tested right now. That he's going to be tested, and it's going to be exposed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure it's exposed on tape. When they in passing downs, do they take him off the field because they know he can't? You know what I'm saying? Because he.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah,
those are the
yeah.
things that we are not talking about that you have to talk about if you're talking about a complete, a complete player that's going to hoist the Heisman. You see what
All
I'm
right.
And
saying?
then, but
When you
and
talk
then
about
once you
another
start
kid that
talking
never comes off
NFL
the field,
drafts and where you're getting projected to be a draft pick at, you're absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? Like um, you can be a really good running back, but if you can't, like you say, if you can't pick up that blitz, they don't want you in there on third down. And where like if you're not really a a a 3 down back, that
Mhm.
drops you. You know what I'm saying? That
exactly.
drops
So,
your youth.
and
And
that's
your
the
boy
thing.
Okay.
Like, is that happening at Boise? We don't watch enough Boise to know those situations. You know what I mean? We're looking at numbers and
I don't.
touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? But It's those things
Okay.
that I'm looking at. If I'm a voter, I'm looking at everything. I'm seeing this one
He's
kid who's playing 60, 70 snaps a game who don't come off the field. To this one
oh
kid,
man,
yeah, he
come
got
on,
elite
man.
numbers, but you know what I'm
Come
saying?
on, man.
I'm just
He's
being
good.
honest.
He's very good, but he Heisman. Come on, guys. Come on, man.
Philly,
We going off. We doing a celebrity thing now
I'm
Philly,
not
No,
doing this.
no,
because
no,
I'm
no,
look.
no,
I'm
no,
just.
celebrity.
no.
I'm
To be
doing a
fair,
football
Come
thing.
Philly,
on.
I'm a football. I look at
Philly,
football.
Philly,
I got it.
411.
Hey, hold on,
411
hold
is
on.
giving us see
No, you need
411
to
is
hold
giving
on.
us he's still mad at Dion. So this is he's
Hold on.
everything that's
You
gonna come out of that,
okay?
anything that's gonna come
I'm
out
gonna
of
let
that
you say it.
program, out of that thing,
I'm
this
looking at
man is
No.
football,
still
man.
mad at Dion. So you gotta
Okay.
take that part of it.
Okay.
You got to
Now,
take that
brother.
piece with it now.
Now, brothers has
Huh?
spoken. Right now, Philly. Who have I
Yeah.
said for the last couple of years is my top rated quarterback? Why everybody else just now starting to say it? What did I say when he first got to Jackson State?
Who?
I said
Shador?
Shador was gonna be a Seattle. I wanted him to be a Seattle quarterback.
Yeah, yeah. You said that.
I have not come off of that.
Yeah.
I think Travis Hunter is the best overall player in college football.
Hmm.
I'm just strictly talking about the Heisman Trophy. I think he's
Yeah.
second to
no.
Ashton.
Let me ask you this
I think
question
he's
though.
second to Ashton. I think he's second to Ashton. That's all. I'm not saying he
Right.
ain't gonna be in New York and all that. And if he win it, he win it. But I don't have him over Ashton, guys.
I'm,
Ashton is threatening Barry Sanders' record. Come
Uh.
on now.
Yeah.
What
Come
did you just
on.
say, Corey? He has to rush for like another 1,000 yards in 2 games. Like,
yeah.
come on, man.
The fact that
That
you have
ain't
to bring the
that ain't
fact
really
that you gotta
threatening
bring
Barry
the
Sanders
fact.
type
Come
numbers.
on,
You know
man.
what I'm
But that's what I'm saying. Think about that. Think about how astronomical Barry Sanders' numbers were, and this is a guy that we bringing that up during the season. If that
saying?
don't
But
get you the
but
Heisman, what does?
all
Come
right.
on
Now
Against
now.
we
Versus
all
a
right.
guy
We
who,
What I will say,
lesser
real
competition though.
see,
exactly.
but
I
who's
was about to go
Colorado
there. I was
playing?
about to go
Who's
there. Hold on. Hold
Colorado
on.
playing? Come on,
but
Look at
man.
the
Get out of
errors
here.
though.
I will say
Come on. He got toasted against North Dakota State.
Dude, look
more
at the
likely
errors
than
though.
not,
Look at the
more likely
errors.
than not, his numbers are going to be more comfortable to Derrick Henry's
Other people
record.
that are Heisman Trophy
Right,
candidates, right?
his numbers.
Mark
Well,
Ingram and all that.
no, it's better than
Oh,
Mark
go
Ingram.
ahead.
He's going to be more. His
Okay.
numbers are
And
going to
Mark Ingram
fall
won a
like
Heisman.
Tyrone.
Okay, go ahead.
Listen,
I
Yeah.
digress.
I talk.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
maybe Mark Ingram didn't win the Heisman. I don't know.
you know what? You've been
Oh.
around high
No, he
tongue
did.
too much because y'all you want to disrespect football.
He
Go
did
ahead,
win the
guys. Go
Heisman.
ahead.
Correct.
Go ahead,
His
gentlemen.
numbers, if he continues as he go, his numbers are going to be more like in the Mark Henry range. I'm going Derrick Henry range, which I'm saying he probably may end up with. Realistically, we say another 300, if really lucky, 400 yards for the year. So about 2,200, which is
Yeah,
not which in itself are Heisman like numbers, right? I don't.
agreed.
I look at the facts at hand. Because he doesn't have the gawking numbers of Sanders have, because he needs another 11 touchdowns, he needs another yard per carry. And by the way, Sampson only has 200. He has 222 carries and 1,200 yards, and he's averaging 5.6 yards a carry. That's why he's not the guy. Okay, but he has to, in order for him to win the Heisman at Boise State, his number has to be almost gawking. I mean, just like right. And this year, we don't have a dominant quarterback. The great white hype, or the socially appropriate, or the what they call it, the diversity and inclusion guy lost
DEI.
lost last week. The DEI guy lost last week. So therefore, it's gonna come down to Gentry and Hunter.
Back to look. When you say the diversity, used to call it the token Negro back in the day. He's a
Yeah,
token.
exactly. He is
Uh,
out of the race because he blew that game for them boys. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
yeah.
and then we have to say which one. Okay, now we going. Okay, Gentry doesn't. His numbers are outstanding, right?
Fair
But
enough.
when but we're looking. But when we go, okay, the hype train. Who's gonna win that one?
Travis.
Hunter.
Okay, All right,
Yeah.
Hunter's gonna win the hype train.
right, and he's having a pretty good season. If you look at the two positions he's playing, 60,
Oh,
because
he got an
yeah,
excellent season. Yeah, it's
correct.
superb.
So now, who were the vote? Then the voters are gonna say who do they play and all this other stuff. Just for the fact that you at Colorado, it sounds like because even though Boise State is not a one double A team, they still get the people still look at them like they're one double A.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Image is
Yeah,
everything. All
yeah.
right. One thing, also, Boise, Idaho, Boulder, Colorado, Boulder because of Deion Sanders. You know where also Travis Hunter has where he's gonna get some votes from. He's gonna get votes back east.
Yep.
You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Right, right.
Yep.
East
Ashton's
Coast
not gonna
bias.
get
Yeah,
yeah
Because everybody know him.
because of Dion. Right.
Yeah.
So
right.
Yeah.
And
those are the
Dion,
things you got to look at.
and don't forget Dion already
Hey,
kind of planted that seed talking about the best player. It was over with week 2. Like, see that kind
Well,
of
yeah,
that
because he
girl,
knew
some of that
because
girly talk like that
you know
is left out too.
the
But go
biggest
ahead.
thing Dion did was he made a decision out of his two guys. Now if he had, which because he looked at he because I mean whether Dion want to admit it or not, he was like, "Ooh, this season he didn't expect to be 9-2 at this point." Right?
Well,
So
hey,
he shifted from two kids to they just put one kid in on the paper. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And they
yeah.
went
Yeah,
all
he
behind him.
Hey,
He
kind of
did.
finagle it. Yeah, we know.
hey, man, Dion. The one thing that you will not be able to deny about Dion, he is a he. If this dude, if he sold them used cars, he would be the greatest used car salesman in the history
He,
of life. He would
he
Tell me
sell
about
absolutely
it.
You
right.
know, the
He,
biggest
he
thing
could
I
say that
sell. Hey,
again. Say that
he could
again.
sell water to a well, man. You hear me?
Say
And that is
that.
one thing that you love about him.
the biggest thing to me
Yeah,
about this
say
is
that again, bro. That's true. He's great at it.
He was
He-
able to convince Shador to jump on this train.
yeah,
Yes,
Yeah, because
yes,
they
yes,
playing
he's
the long game, man. They playing the
yeah,
long game.
and
yeah.
they under hey, the one thing that you look at everything, and I know we've turned this into like this
So
the
this is
Deion
good.
Sanders corner, but if we look at
It
it,
is.
like you say, what was the thing that coming in? What was the thing coming in? This last hey Shador was what did they call him? He was just a HBCU kid that couldn't play in the big leagues. Okay, so boom,
Mm-hmm.
boom,
Which was
boom,
a
boom.
lie. Which was a lie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, no,
Right.
yeah,
That was,
yeah, absolutely a lot. You
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying?
so
But that was
I give Dion this.
that was the
Some of his gripes are real, but it's some of the
yeah.
other stuff that ain't real. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing with that is, you're right. It absolutely wasn't, and I think I know me and Tyrone talked about this. I
Yeah.
was skeptical. I was skeptical of Shador until I actually sat down and I watched him. He has
Mm-hmm.
that boy has one of the prettiest balls in college football. He can throw the crap out. He
Somebody
can
said
throw the
edit that one.
football. He has a really pretty football that he throws. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Yeah,
like
he
you say,
does.
for him to have, like you say, all this negative stuff, and then like beyond all this, and then for them, like you say, to focus and shift and go to okay, out of you two guys, which one of you really has the best chance of winning this Heisman? And like you say, he's gotten Shador to be like, hey, Travis is the best player on our team, and we go how he goes, and like
Right.
yada yada
Okay,
Right.
yada.
listen.
Yada. So it is a whole
It's the Jake Paul move.
selling point. It's a whole and then the thing too, we look at what Dion was telling them about where Shador is going to get drafted or where he is going to go play football. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
but
Mm-hmm.
that's also,
You know,
understand him convincing Shador to take the back seat also is also long game play too because guess what it does now you got when you start talking to the scouts when they start talking to the
Mm-hmm.
kid when they start looking they're gonna say he's a team guy
There you
and
go.
he's humble.
Yeah,
I get the whole game.
Yep.
exactly.
I get the
Yep.
game,
Yeah. This is
Yep.
Jake
but
Paul, Mike
but
Tyson.
that
And then
yeah,
and
I
then
mean,
and then
man I don't
as
want
a
to do
hold on,
not
let me
bring
slide
that
in
as
real quick.
subject up. Go ahead
yeah,
sir.
go ahead. I'm
Hey,
sorry. Yes, sir. Go for it.
real quick, when we talk about cars, who sponsors and who has all the Heisman trophy commercials?
Toy,
Nissan.
is that
GMC, right?
Or
Is it
well,
Nissan or is it, who has the Heisman House?
I think
Which
it's
one is the
GMC.
Yeah,
One of
okay.
them.
I think
But
it was Nissan or something.
no,
is it
Or
Nissan,
Nissan?
something.
Nissan.
Is it Nissan? Okay.
One
Yeah.
but yeah, when they all in that house. Yeah.
Nissan has the Heisman House. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Nissan.
So when we talk about the Heisman House and money and commercials and all that, who do you think that executive gonna say? I think we want this young man to be the Heisman
Hey
Hunter.
man.
You see
You
what I'm
notice,
saying?
and you know, yeah, and you
Yeah,
notice the
you
money,
might
man.
you might have sold me now, Philly Red Zone. I think you
And then you
sold me
also
on this one
you
now.
throw it down because when you find out when you listen to when you find what you find out is like they start trying to expose his how he moves. Oh, I don't
Hmm.
really party. I don't drink. I go
Hmm.
home. I go
Yeah,
fishing. I go fishing, play my video games, and work out.
There you go. There
You know
you
what I'm
go.
saying?
yeah,
Yep.
and then he got a baby on the way now, right?
Yep.
And I think
And don't be
and
surprised. Don't
then
be surprised. Don't be surprised if he got a ring on his finger by the time the Heisman roll around.
no,
It's
he already
family, man.
does. No, he already
I
does. He
mean,
already proposed a
Hey,
couple weeks
that's not the
ago.
same. I'm
and
talking about
so,
No,
man,
a
I mean,
full
well,
blown.
the wedding
I'm
is
a
set.
family man.
But what I'm telling you is he
but
already
what's
is on
wrong
his
with that too?
podcast.
You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
what?
On his
But what's wrong
podcast,
with it?
my bad, brother. My bad. Nothing wrong with that, brother. But on his podcast, I think him and Shador were talking, and he already announced that after he gets drafted, and sometime right before training, what they call that, mini camp or whatever,
Yeah.
somewhere
Mini
Mhm.
camp.
between the draft and mini camp, him and his fiance are supposed to do the wedding thing and do all that stuff. So
All I'm
there
gonna
you
say
go.
is like this.
So add that in
I,
there too now, bro.
I hope it's the right reason, and I hope it's not to cultivate an image. Because the last time we had a very young, ultra talented man getting married for his image, ended up with him wrecking a car and his wife beating his ass with a golf club, and him no longer being the number one
Oh,
player in the world.
you talking about Eldrick? Okay, all right.
Ah, yes. Find out that he had
Okay.
affinity for Waffle House waitress. But anyway,
Oh my God.
Hey,
And Applebee's girl, that mother, he'd like the trashiest thing. He'd like the trashiest thing he could pick up, boy. Anyway, but
Hey
hey,
man.
but you, hey,
Cheap
look,
food and easy women.
hey, we look when we started, hey, when and we got to talking about this, so I got a chance to grab my little thing and pull up. Okay, so we got Ashton Genty at number one, right? Who do you know who's the number two running back? The as far as stat wise in college?
I
I have
think
to
you
look it
had
up.
it up.
no, help me out, Brandon. Who is it? Let's see.
Is a guy named Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? So and then he's like 400 yards behind
Yeah,
Genty. My cat that Dylan Sampson, now he's a junior.
yeah.
Um, he is, let's see, he's about 600 yards behind him, but he's like 5 touchdowns. Genty has like 26 rushing. He's got like 21. So
Mm-hmm.
and again, neither one of these two guys that we're talking about, though,
Mm-hmm.
Hampton, North Carolina, ACC, um, he's like 400 yards behind. Dylan Sampson, SEC leading 21 rushing touchdowns, 1,200 yards. Ain't neither one of these guys sniffing the Heisman. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
So
Nope.
once we does 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 his stats help? You know, like all right, yes, we're going by his stats, and that's the thing that's pushing him up there. But the guys that are doing it in what we want to call the bigger leagues and the bigger conferences, and
Mm-hmm.
have something, I guess, maybe comparable, we're not talking about them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Because Gentry also, what you didn't look at is he has 2 more yards to carry, right?
oh yeah, like I say, his
And
numbers
he's
are,
probably getting all the work. And he's getting all the work.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, come on.
his numbers are stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like I say,
Yeah.
as far as like the number of carries, um, he's carrying the ball more than anybody in the country. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
More touchdowns, more rushes. I mean, so like it's nothing. It's not, like not to just take it away from what he's doing. It's just like I said. Once we start looking at other guys that are kind of comparable, they're not the guys that we're talking about being high. If he was in somewhere like this, would he be a Heisman candidate? I don't necessarily think he would be,
If he
because
had
like I say,
those
we got
stats,
guys that are
no. To be
No,
fair,
that's fair.
if he was at one of those other schools with these stats,
oh yeah, with those stats, yeah, but like I say, I mean, like is he? I don't know if he's gonna, like I say, I don't know if he's gonna do that.
I
But
mean, we
like I say,
playing crystal ball, but if we move him and his stats to Tennessee, Georgia, Oregon, or anywhere
uh,
else, it's
Oh, it's
automatic.
over.
it's
It's over.
Oh
automatic.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
over.
yeah. It's
He
it's
is.
not
Yeah.
even a
So,
question.
so I
But
Yeah.
mean,
like I
Yeah.
say, if we take him off of this list, if we take Genty off of this list, and you
Then
go
Travis
through, like I
wins.
said, you got North Carolina, you got UCF, the guys third, Iowa, Tulane, Tennessee, Jacksonville State, Texas. You know what I'm saying? Like when you start getting
Yeah.
into some of these other places and these other guys, you're not just, like I say, they're not getting anywhere near the love. And I think what Philly was saying too was he he gets we don't look at Boise the same way we're looking at some of these schools.
I
You know what
agree
I'm saying?
with you.
Like
I think we all
it's a
agree with that.
Yes.
it's a
We
disadvantage
all
to
agree with
them
that.
to think that it's
I'm the
that
only
we're
one watching Boise.
Yeah.
you right. You can have it. I'll let you do
Yeah.
that. You cover that. You make sure you hold that down for the rest of us.
That is what you do, Mister 411.
Thank
Yeah, I
thank you
do.
for your service. But I'm not gonna stay up in no damn not to watch. Hey, they got me this week about staying up late and watching some bull crap with that damn Mike Tyson and Jake Paul thing.
Oh
They
Boy,
got us
gosh.
all. They got us all,
God, that
bro.
was
Yeah.
that was
No, they did
That was
not
a
get us all.
that
yeah,
was a
they
Well, they
nice
did.
got
slap
they
They
got
got
a
box.
lot of
everybody
us.
that stayed up and watched that shit. They did.
They got
They got
60
4 out
million
of
at
3
least.
of us, I guess. I don't know what Philly. Did you watch it?
I
For
watched it
me,
on tape delay because I fell asleep on it. I can't
Okay.
even. And
Oh,
then I
then they
went
got
I
Uh,
went and looked at it and I fast forwarded through the whole thing. I said it was a hype a
I
very
watched
hyped
the
slap box. That wasn't even real
yeah. I
boxing, man.
watched. Matter of fact, I watched the damn women's fight in front of that was
well,
way
that's why I
better.
watched it.
Yeah, that
And you
women.
brought it up, Ernest. That's why I watched it. I really watched it to see the women, the Serrano and Taylor fight
See, that's
because
why
Man,
you
that was
missed the 411. You watched the
yeah,
unorthodox stuff, man.
hey man,
and I mean I watched that
I
fight and
like the
it was
way
I mean
I
like
like the way
that was
you
actually
worded that.
that was
Unorthodox.
a
I like
really
that.
good fight for the women. That was a really good
Yeah,
fight, but yeah, I mean, like
yeah.
I say, if he's gonna get number one, like you say, he's gonna lose with some of the West Coast buys, and he's gonna lose because we still put Boise as one of those like junior schools. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain ones they just don't get the
Hey man,
same respect that they do at some of these other schools. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. Y'all are on it today, bro. And that was a great Heisman Trophy conversation. And we're going to transition to one more segment before we roll out,
All
and that's
right.
the playoffs, right? As Jim Morris said back in the day, playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about that in a minute. And as we transition to the playoffs, speaking of playoffs, the MEAC and the SWAC, all right, they're going to have the SWAC is going to have their East versus West playoff matchup coming up here soon. Jackson State, speaking of Deion Sanders, uh, and they won the East, and Southern University with the best uniforms of all time, in my opinion. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they won the West, and they're going to meet up, and the winner of that will face South Carolina State, who won the MEAC regular season. They don't have a playoff, and they're already bowl bound. They'll be playing in the Celebration Bowl, Atlanta, Georgia, December 14th, 2024. And so it looks like history may repeat itself because these are the same teams that faced each other pretty much back when Dion was there, when Jackson State lost to South Carolina State in the Celebration Bowl. So here we go with that. Big shout out to Chennis Berry, who's the head coach, first year South Carolina State. He did something similar to like what a lot of college coaches do when they move, bring a lot of players with them. He brought a lot of players from Benedict, um, and which is in South Carolina, moved to South Carolina State with him. They win the MEAC. They're about to play in a major bowl game. So that's great for him. And Jackson State, TC Taylor, who took over the job for Dion, is continuing that thing with Jackson State still winning games. All right. So with
If
that
y'all don't
said,
know,
gentlemen,
TJ is biased to TC Taylor.
I like TC Taylor, but also I do have a open bias with South Carolina State as well because of my
And
parents.
you're right. We know.
All right. And so gentlemen, let's slide over to the playoffs, man.
All right.
First, give me your thoughts on these. what y'all think? Who's the 12 teams that you thinking? Basically, kind of top 12. Let's spitball the top 12 like we
All
do every
right,
week.
coming into yesterday, we'll run through Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Indiana, Tennessee, BYU, Notre Dame, Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia, and Miami. Boise's on the outside of the bubble at 13, and so is SMU at 14.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Ooh.
The biggest question is going to be, we're gonna say that the top four will stay the same.
Mm-hmm.
And five,
Okay.
because I don't believe Indiana will move up until they can prove that they can beat Ohio. If they beat Ohio State, then they move up. But we're gonna say so. We're gonna cut off at 5. Oregon, Ohio State, Tennessee, Penn State, Indiana. Everybody agree?
Yep.
All right. Tennessee at the 6th spot is out. Is going down.
Yep.
And BYU at the 7th spot is backing up.
Yep.
So do we agree? Do we say that BYU falls out of the top 12, or
Good
do
question.
they, do Tennessee? And I don't think Tennessee is going to fall out of the top 12 because of who they lost to, Georgia, right?
Yeah, I think
They
BYU
should,
fall out because of who they lost to.
right. So
Right. Losing to
I
Kansas
say
at home
Tennessee.
too.
Exactly.
I say Tennessee will probably survive at 12, right?
Now we talking
And
12 as far as rankings, right? At this point,
yes, the rankings.
not
We're
okay.
going through the rankings.
Okay.
The rankings
Right.
right? Okay. And
Uh huh.
then we're
Listen,
gonna have so we're gonna have Boise State move into, for the first time this year, top 12 at 11
I
or
think so
12,
by default. By default, yes.
and then we're gonna
yeah, but
say
yeah,
Alabama, and so you say Notre Dame's gonna move up to 6. Georgia will probably jump Ole Miss. Well, see, that's where it gets kind of tricky. Will Georgia
Yeah.
jump Ole Miss or Alabama, or will they just move up a slot behind them?
Ooh.
I think they'll move up a slot behind them.
you
Okay,
can't.
so
Yeah,
we're saying,
you can't jump me if I beat you.
Yeah, exactly.
eh, but we're
You
saying
can't jump
that.
me if I beat you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the, like you said before. Once you start, that's even more like it, instead of like opponents, like head to head. If I beat you head, like if you could probably get people right now that would tell you Ohio State is probably a better team than Oregon, but you
Yeah,
can't
Ohio
put you
State
can't.
should be number 1.
Yeah, but how can but like once they played each other, you can't really
Exactly.
say, what I'm saying, like I beat you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I don't care how pretty it was, how ugly it was, I beat you. So
Right. Right.
so that that's that.
So we're
Like you
gonna
said,
go. So we're gonna
go
go.
ahead.
So
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
in the top 12 is gonna be Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Indiana, and we're saying Notre Dame, Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia, Miami, Boise, and Tennessee at 12.
That
Okay.
sounds
So
good.
let's talk
Yeah.
about that real quick.
Yeah. We're gonna Okay, go ahead. But then we're
God,
gonna
So
get
I'm gonna
into
throw it.
then we're gonna get into the breakdown of what happens after the conference championship falling.
Okay. So I'm
damn.
gonna throw this team out there and tell me what y'all think. Texas A&M. Well, I'm gonna throw two teams out there. Texas A&M and Army. Do they
No and
have an
no.
argument of being somewhere in there?
Well, if you
No.
want to do that, you can give SMU an argument.
Oh, SMU. Okay, there's another one. So do any of those teams? Do you feel like any of those teams can trump at this point
Let's see. So we can
Tennessee
go and
No.
over
SMU.
Tennessee?
No.
Okay.
What
Because
we'll do
I
is
look
we'll
at
say,
Notre Dame's schedule. I mean, being an independent team, they play a lot of top notch programs, and I don't think Army, SMU, or what's the other school that we that
A&M.
Texas
A&M.
A&M and the
Yeah,
SEC.
I don't think A&M will
you're
be
not
able
gonna
to.
get you're not
Mm-mm.
gonna get. I just don't see you getting 6 SEC teams. It's just not
No.
gonna happen.
Okay. All right.
No,
And
I
No,
mean,
S
and like you say,
I just want to throw them teams
now
out there, guys.
okay,
I just want
now
to throw them out there.
here's the trick bag of it. SMU is number 1 in ACC.
Hmm.
What conference they in now?
American
ACC.
Conference,
They in the AAC or the ACC or which
the
what is it? I
American,
don't
the
know.
American,
ACC. So
the American
What?
Conference.
yes, they're in the
They in
ACC.
they in the one with Clemson or they in the one with
If I have to
Memphis
say
and
this
all that?
one more time, they are in the
Okay,
ACC. And
man.
do they still have a championship game? I think they still
No,
do.
they
They
do.
don't. They
They
do
Yeah,
play.
they
that.
do.
They look Clemson usually play somebody in that game. Yeah.
I
Right.
think they,
Well,
yeah,
right now in that conference, Miami dropped to is well, Miami's third in the conference only because they don't have a 5 conference game.
yeah. I think they'll
So
play Tulane or somebody.
no, they'll play either. I forget. I don't. Is it divisions? Do they? I thought did they break it? I don't think they have divisions anymore. I think
I
they're
don't know
like
what
yeah,
they
everybody
that's what
have
they
anymore.
yeah, that's what they got rid of. They got rid of the like they used to
divisions.
have like the coastal and the what you call it. It's like the
So
SEC now.
Right.
right.
It's just
Okay.
So
everybody's just whoever the top teams are. Um
so
So the
SMU.
cow.
realistically, so
So the Cal
realistically,
Bears are in the ACC. Okay, this is out of hand. But go ahead.
yes. So realistically, it's either
So
whoever
is
wins that
so is
conference.
Stanford.
So whoever wins that conference will be in. So that means if we go back to our top 12, either
Okay.
SMU or Miami, and possibly those two kicked out and Clemson go. So that's one spot in your 12, right? So you got 11 spots left, right?
Uh-huh.
Put boys in there.
Hold on. We ain't got that far down the
Okay.
line.
Oh, okay, my bad. My
So
bad. Go
we
ahead.
know that pretty much the winner, if Ohio State beat Oregon, both of them are in. Agree?
Yes, I agree with that.
If Ohio State lose to Indiana, Ohio State's out.
Woo.
No,
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So you're gonna take so then you have two undefeateds in the championship game, Oregon and Indiana. If
And they both gonna
Indiana,
Yeah,
stay in.
but they're gonna Ohio State's gonna get one of those because like
hold up,
what your two losses
you
would
only
be
got
to the number
hold
one
up.
team in the country and the possible number two
Number
team in the
five.
country
All right,
Yeah,
hold on,
number.
but you
or
got
number
Yeah,
five.
that's true.
so
Yeah, they
so
number
hold
five
on,
right
hold
now.
on. All right, hold on.
Okay.
Now you also got so what you're saying is Indiana beats Ohio State. You say they're still in, and then Indiana, Oregon plays for the conference championship. Both go or one go.
Ooh, both go. I don't think you
All
Yeah, I
right,
fall
think.
that far.
all
Oh
right.
I
yeah,
don't think you
Yeah,
go
No,
far.
if
I got a caveat to that. And then are
okay,
you gonna
hold
so
up real quick. You said hold up real quick. You said if Indiana beats Ohio State and then they both go in undefeated to a championship game against Oregon, or
Oregon versus
both
Indiana,
both of those guys are gonna make the playoff.
yeah. Oregon and
and
Indiana's
and
and they're
and
automatic.
you're gonna have Ohio State, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So you're gonna kick
yeah.
are you gonna kick out the one loss Penn State team?
Ooh, where they rank that again right now? Where we
There
got
right
them at?
now is they're 4.
And they probably will win out,
Damn,
right?
that's gonna
Because
Yes.
suck.
they're
Yeah.
not going to the championship game, so
Yes.
they'll have to be in too.
All right. All right,
Well,
y'all see
that's
the
going.
message. You see the
Yeah.
Well, that's
message.
a long jam.
All right.
Yeah.
So, but we got, but
Somebody's gonna be mad there.
so we got so we got the automatic win of ACC so far. We got the automatic the big. I don't know what you want to call it. The big, right?
Yeah,
That's two automatics, and then we got the automatic that's going to be between
we know SEC gonna have one.
Colorado and
Ooh,
BYU
stop there.
probably. That's
Put the
three.
brakes on right there. We got to
Uh,
stop right there because it's not autumn. I don't think it's are they an automatic winner? Is
Yes,
y'all help me
they're
out
Yeah,
there?
still a
Oh,
conference.
power
okay. So
five.
that's an
Yeah, the
automatic
conference.
winner
They're a power
conference.
five.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
so
Dang.
that's three,
Wow.
right? That's three to guarantee, right?
Can can we put air quotes around power? That conference is a power
I mean, they're going to redo that. They're going to redo the
five.
Power Five crap, but
See, there it
Okay.
come again, man. Here it come again, because it could be Colorado. This Negro is now saying, "Oh well, let's put air quotes around it." Why are we putting air
the
quotes
winner of
around
that,
it?
I'm just going by the
Because
winners right
that's
now.
the
I'm,
same
So
conference
I
that. But
know
no,
this is.
because
I'm
people have been
shooting that.
blasting that conference.
I am shooting all
People have
this
been
at Mister
blasting that.
411. These
People
are
been
shots
blasting
at
that
it.
conference. Okay, but
Now,
how many
now
years have people been
BYU
blasting that
loses.
conference?
We
How
see
many times have
BYU
people
gets
been blasting that?
exposed. BYU gets exposed. There's a possible chance that Colorado could mess around and win the Big 12. And now we're putting air quotes around them being a Power Five school.
But hold
Stop
on.
the madness, man.
No, because hold on, because when Texas was over there and Oklahoma was over there, and people were talking about this conference was so weak. Remember that? When our people year in and year out would say this conference is nothing but an air it out conference, it's weak. They don't play nobody, they don't do nothing. And now they lost Texas and they lost Oklahoma. So why won't we still say the same thing? Because if I look at it, I don't know too many ranked teams out of that conference.
Hey, we'll get back to that. That's a discussion. That's another type of discussion.
Yeah,
But
I
right
mean,
now they got automatic, right?
yeah, you're right. They got
Yeah.
an automatic.
Now,
So
matter of
so the
fact,
winner of that so the winner of that conference championship game is in. We
Yeah.
getting that. And
you
I
only
think
have
right now Colorado would be the favorite to do that.
you only have four automatics left because the
Okay.
Pac-12 technically is a conference, but they only got two teams and they don't count. If I'm not mistaken, they don't get automatic. That's Oregon and
Okay.
Washington State. I
Who is
assume
that?
they don't get automatic.
Yeah,
Oregon and
the pack
Washington
that
State. Oregon
Pac-10.
State and Washington State. There's only two teams left, but I don't think they maintain their
Is
automatic.
that
Yeah,
they have
they
a
don't.
Pac-12 conference?
Yeah, it's Washington State and Oregon State.
All right, so we got four automatics. So we can agree. ACC is gonna have one,
Yeah.
not two players come in it.
No
Uh,
one.
the Big 12 is gonna have one, not two. Agree.
Right. Agreed.
And then right as of right now, we got possibly one other. So we got one other ACC, we got one other Pac-12, and then when you get to
So we're gonna
the
punish.
Big 10, you
So
got
we're gonna
four
punish.
teams.
We're gonna punish Miami and SMU for having
Yep.
possible two losses, but we're not going. We're going to
Hold
keep
on, hold on,
Tennessee. We're going to keep
hold on.
Tennessee as a viable option. We're going to keep Ole Miss as a viable option.
We
We're
haven't
going to
even
keep
got that far.
Alabama as a
Ooh.
viable
Got that
option.
far, but you got look.
Ooh.
But you haven't got that far.
All of these are two-loss teams already. You know
Oh,
what
You
I'm saying? Like,
bringing up
you're doing wait, but it's the top 12 teams that finish in the polls. What
yeah,
we got
you're
to
right.
do before you finish, what you got to do is you got to take your four automatics and take that out. So the
Uh-huh.
four automatics are going to be the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you got 8 other teams at large in the
Right.
well, hold on,
polls,
Coy.
right?
Coy,
You're
you
right.
gotta
Yeah,
put
you're right.
five
Yeah.
automatics. You gotta put
All right,
five automatics. The
and one.
group of
Okay,
five, the highest rated group of five, which currently is Boise. The
okay, and
highest
Boise.
rated group of five gets in. So
All right, so
that's
that's
Boise
5
right now.
automatics. So that leaves you with
Yeah.
7 more teams. So we already said
Okay.
one from the so we said one from the ACC, one from the SEC, one from the Big 10, and one from the Big 12, right? So those 4 plus the automatic, that's 5, right? And
Okay. Okay.
we're gonna give the 5 to Boise State. Is that what we're saying?
I I
Possibly.
I suggest that, but anybody else got another
All
team
right.
that can
Now
throw that out
we
there?
also know
Maybe
that
Army.
Notre Dame is a number is in the top 12 automatically. They go. That's just where you go.
Yeah.
So that's
They in there.
6. So you got
Yep.
6 left. Now, depending on who loses, you got Ohio State,
Ooh.
Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
and Penn State out of the Big 10, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right.
Ooh.
So
We
that's 3 more teams. So that's what? How where are we at now? So those if
three.
you take all
Well, you got
3, if
three
you
considerations. You got three
you got 3
considerations there.
those considerations. Then in the SEC, as of today, you have
Uh-huh.
Tennessee, Ole
Uh-huh.
Miss, Georgia,
Mm-hmm. Alabama.
Alabama,
Alabama
and Texas leading and going into the clubhouse.
Oh
and Texas
shit.
Right?
A&M.
No, no.
And as an
Not yet.
option, yeah, as a
Not
backup
yet.
option,
Not
because they
not
Like,
yet.
cause Texas,
They're not
cause
in the
Texas
top
A&M.
12. They're not in the top 12 yet.
But
We're going.
okay, yeah, we're not counting them in the top 12, but
They're
they
not
are a
there.
possible. They are
They
still
have
there for
to.
the possible. Being the SEC championship.
I get. Well, as of right now, they're not.
Yes, they are.
yeah,
Yes,
they
They
in
are
the they
number.
in,
They're in the conference.
yeah,
In the
they up there.
conference, they are 5-1. It's
Yeah,
Texas is number 1. Texas A&M is number 2. Georgia's number 3. Tennessee is
yeah.
number 4. Alabama's number 5. Ole Miss is 6.
okay.
Hmm.
So that
And
puts
so
6 teams in play in the SEC.
That's the monkey rich with Texas A&M. They could throw a whole. They can
yeah,
turn this thing upside
they
down.
could screw. They could see now if get in there, they're going to screw somebody like Army or Boise State or
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
one. Now where
One
So
of
we
these
what's
start
going to
to get
happen
into
if
some of
Penn
those
Texas
two
State.
beat
loss
Texas?
teams. Where we start to get into some of those two loss teams that are, it might kick out, one of the SEC teams. Now they're going to
Yep.
want to put,
Are, are you
the
saying?
commit.
Are you saying that you think Texas? Since we're going to go with the Texas, since they're number 2, you're saying they can beat? If they beat, you're saying they're going to beat Texas
No, 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 no.
If they
I'm just saying
do,
they
if they
have
do.
they
But
have the
then
opportunity to play in that championship game. I'm,
no,
I'm
no,
just
no. They
saying
got to
that.
play Texas. They got to play Texas before the championship.
Okay, so then if they lose, okay, so then I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, so if they lose, all right, they play Texas, right? They play Texas going into the conference game. So that means, okay, let's just say Texas beats them, right? So Texas will be 6-1, A&M will be 5-2. Who is A&M's other? Hold on, let me look. Let me see who their other.
A&M play Auburn in Texas
So they got so okay. So they got to play. They got Auburn. See, Auburn
in
might
Texas.
damn yeah. So
You never know.
that may be a game. You know what I'm saying? Because if
Now, ranking wise, Texas has a loss to South Carolina, even though they're 24. All right,
uh
and then then Texas two major wins are over.
Nobody.
Call this be fair. Hmm?
Texas A&M don't have a quality. Texas, I don't think it has a quality win, do they?
hold on.
Texas A&M lost to Notre Dame.
No, I'm saying Texas. They don't have a quality win, do they? Who
No,
did
they
they
just
beat
winning.
this
They
year?
just winning. Oklahoma.
Yeah,
But no, Texas A&M. They lost to Notre Dame.
and South
They
Carolina.
Well, they
South Carolina.
beat Michigan first game of the year. Oklahoma's nobody. Vanderbilt played them tough. They lost to Georgia. Um, and they beat up Florida.
So we can
So
agree that Texas A&M is not getting in unless they win the conference because their resume don't
you're
speak
right.
to it.
Yeah,
Well,
correct. Yeah,
if
correct.
they win out, they're in. Let's put it that way.
All right, so
Because they
that
would have
means
beaten
that
Texas and they would have beat the SEC, whoever win the SEC. So they would get in if they went out, in my
so
opinion.
remember we got the four conference championships plus you saying Boise State and I'm saying Notre Dame. That's six, right?
Yeah.
Right. So now you got six more at larges, and so out of the SEC for easy math, we're gonna say Texas is number one now, so they stay there. You have Ole Miss, Georgia, Alabama, Texas A&M, and now Tennessee. Right? That's five teams,
Hmm.
including you have Ohio State, which in
Uh-huh.
Penn
Oregon,
State.
Penn State, and Indiana. That's eight more teams, and you got six spots. So who's not? I mean, wait, six spots? Yeah,
Yeah.
six
Well,
spots. So
that's
out of
that
those,
would that would be nice
they
and
pick.
neat. That would be nice and neat. That would be really nice and neat if Indiana beats Ohio State and then they get there. But let okay. I mean, and then
Let's
now
say let's say Ohio State.
let's just throw one more monkey wrench in there, right? Let's say okay, Ohio State beats Indiana, right? And then Ohio State goes on to beat Oregon.
Oregon.
All
Now
right, so
gonna
no, so
or
now you have
you're not gonna punish Oregon for losing one game. You know what I'm
no,
saying?
that's two
So
games. That's
Right.
their second loss. Is that not their second? Wait, no, you're right. That's their
no,
first
No,
loss. That'll be the
that'd
first
be their
loss.
first loss.
They
yeah,
Yep.
should have lost. They should have lost. My
you're
bad.
right, but you're not
Yeah.
gonna punish them for losing one time in the conference championship.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna really punish Indiana if they play a close game against a conference champion. So now that muddied the water even more because now you
So you
got
still end up
one
with
loss
those three.
Pence. You've got
Yeah,
five teams. You basically got
four
five
teams.
teams
Well,
out the
you know,
Big
four.
Ten.
You just end up with the same four. Just
I
y'all.
would push
You always
if
have the
Indiana
conference
loses.
championship.
If Indiana loses,
You
if
got
Indiana
Ohio
loses
State.
next week, I'll push them out if they lose.
See, what you do is you count one of
In
those teams
fairness.
will win that will get the automatic because of the conference. So they are the first four. They're one of the first four. So that leaves
That
you with that.
sucks.
So you have three teams left. You have Penn State. Wherever
Out.
if Ohio State went out, then you have Oregon, Penn State, and Indiana, all with one loss. Right?
I would say that would be a disaster for that conference if Ohio State wins, knocks out Indiana. They basically pushing Indiana out of the playoff, and they might even as a casualty effect,
But
Penn State might get knocked out too.
Ohio State wins by one. Not so much.
But it's still an L with a week in Indiana. In fairness, they have a weak schedule too. Just like we're talking about Colorado and some other teams
But
in,
they
in
lost by
Boise.
one to a
So
top three team.
I
So,
understand that. but
So okay,
but
okay.
but
So
they're not better than Georgia. Georgia's going to get in over Indiana
But what
unless
yeah,
about
they
Indiana
will.
don't lose,
but will Georgia get in over if we saying Texas
and
A&M,
Alabama would
Tennessee?
too.
Oh, but what about Tennessee? So you got to remember it's the
See,
back end.
that's what
You
I'm
got
saying.
Ole
So
Miss, Tennessee.
why are we okay with Tennessee and Ole Miss losing twice, but we're gonna punish Indiana for losing against again
Where do
possibly.
you're doing wins and losses? I'm doing how the teams fall in the rankings. Regardless of
Yeah, but
after
I mean,
if
but
you do that,
they're
hold
eventually gonna get ranked that way.
if you
Yeah.
but if you look at it like this, when the rankings fall, right? Where you sit in those rankings after those first 5 to 6 spots is going to determine whether you make the playoffs,
Okay. How
right?
about this, Coin? How about this, Coin? Let's name. We already named 6 teams. Let's just name as of today who the other six would be,
As
and
of
then
today, it will be
instead of
if
instead of
you go
trying to
by pure
predict who
ranking.
loses down the
Okay,
line,
okay. If you go by
who
pure
who do
rankings,
we who do we all think? Philly Red
if
Zone,
you go by
Twan,
rankings,
myself, and you.
if we go by rankings, I'll give you my spiel. The next 6 teams will be. Where's my thing at? I just had it highlighted. All right. If we go by rankings, the next 6 teams will be by default: Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama,
Damn.
and Ole Miss. Right?
So that puts us at 10. Okay.
Okay. And wait, no, I'm sorry. Tennessee falls out, and that gives
Oh,
us Tennessee falls out, and that gives you Ohio State and Indiana, and Ole Miss falls out.
and you already counted Miami, correct?
No,
I didn't count Miami. I counted the winner of that conference. Could be SMU,
Well, we we,
Clemson,
we would
or Miami.
let's okay. So let's say it's Miami for now, or whoever
Okay.
y'all want to say. Y'all want to say Miami or Clemson or somebody. I mean, I'm just throwing Miami name up because they are ranked in the top 12, right? If I ain't mistaken.
Correct.
yeah,
Correct.
So
So
let's
if
just say
okay,
they're
after
going to
those
win
three,
that
so
conference.
we're gonna say it's gonna depend on where Tennessee and BYU fall to, right?
Yeah.
So we can scratch out Oregon, we can scratch out Texas. Those are two automatics from two different conferences. We go by that, right? They're the front
Hmm.
runners in their two conferences, right? And then we can add, like I said, so we have Notre Dame, scratch takes a spot, and then we have your Boise State that takes a spot, right? And then what was the last spot? What's the last spot? The last automatic because you had 5 of them.
We had
either
Oh,
Boise,
well,
Oregon,
I mean,
no,
Colorado.
the last spot.
the
Matter of
boys in
fact,
Colorado, that's
what
gonna
we'll
get
do,
one of them.
what we'll do is no BYU. So we'll keep the
Yeah,
BYU.
BYU.
We'll just say
I'm sorry.
BYU
Yeah.
stand, right? So that means that Oregon, we're saying Oregon, we're saying Texas, we're saying BYU, we're saying Boise, and we're saying Notre Dame all are automatics. So that's 6 left. So then you have Penn State, Indiana, because they're their highest ranked teams left, right?
Hmm.
So that'll be 7 and 8. Tennessee's gonna fall, depending on where they fall to. I say 12, but maybe not. Then you have Notre Dame, right?
They're in.
That's 9. No, yeah, that's wait, I'm sorry. No, we already counted them as 6. I'm sorry. So you have Alabama, that's 9, Ole Miss 10, Georgia 11, and then Miami. That would be your playoff.
Well, Miami's going to be the ACC winner, so they'll get that first round bye.
Okay, then you drop down to Texas A&M or SMU or maybe Auburn or Army.
Red Zone, what you think before you get out of here? You
I
good?
mean,
You good with
I
any of
like
that?
that. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I mean, out of SMU, Army, and A&M, I mean, again, I pay attention to the TV, and they want A&M over SMU and Army. So I would say A&M squeak their way into the playoff. You know, so
I would say that Army team. Don't be surprised if they head to head. See, next week they'll play Notre Dame. Then
mhm.
that'll find out what we're saying. But from what I've watched of that Army team, because I'm fascinated with the academies, just because
Yeah.
they do more with less.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be surprised if they stab Notre Dame in the back of the neck again.
Now, if they beat Notre
Mm.
Dame, they'll supersede A&M. They got to win that Notre Dame game, and I mean convincing, not no field goal, no
No,
fluky.
it don't
They
even
got to win
matter. It don't
convincing.
even matter because they're
Yeah,
undefeated and they beat a top 10 on Notre Dame.
yeah, yeah.
And
They'll just get their automatic slot into the playoff. You
And
know.
then that
that'll
might
be an
knock Notre
eliminator.
Dame out of that motherfucker too.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it might knock Boise out too.
Yeah, it's going. If Army beat Notre Dame, that's going to mess up everybody's projected playoff bracket. That's going to throw everything off.
Because
That's
Army
what.
might
Hey,
then,
that's why I
because
love it. Yeah.
Army,
Hey,
yeah, because Army
Well,
might then
Army
if
and
become the best
everybody
group of five.
lose, have a team like Army, undefeated, and everybody else with either one or two losses. Yeah, now you go. Yeah, let's pick it then. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then like you say,
Army for the national championship. I would dance a jig. I would
yeah.
y'all
Hey
That would
see
man,
be a
me.
great. That would be a great story, though.
I
yeah.
would
yeah, that
dance a
would be
jig like
insane.
I would dance a
Yeah,
jig like Bruce Willis and the Last Boy Scout. All y'all old enough.
yeah.
Man. Well, there it is, guys. So that's our playoff discussion there. We talked Heisman and all that too. We talked the conferences. So man, we got a lot in today. Man, great detail, man. I feel like I was on here for 10 minutes, and that's how much I enjoyed this today, guys. Um, Great energy. We covered a lot today, people. So we definitely appreciate it. Make sure you go back, hit the subscribe button, like, share, all that stuff, man. Because we look, 401 Sports Network is over 2 million views. FYI, people.
Oh man, congrats, bro.
2.4 million views as of this month. So we appreciate all that you're doing. Great
Cut
information,
me my
guys.
check and send me my part back down here so I can
All right, man. I think I can see your T-shirt, man. All right. Uh,
With
but yeah,
two X,
definitely,
two
y'all.
X. Send me a 411 T-shirt, 2X. I'll
Man, I'm
take
trying
it.
to get you that. I'm trying to get you that medium, man. So all
Nah,
all the pecs and stuff. You know.
nah. Nah.
Okay. But hey, appreciate it, guys. And it got me to thinking of something else real quick. Think about how we had to go through all that with that 12 team bracket. They probably gonna go to 16 one year.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
I,
yeah.
it's gonna get insane, man. Then we're gonna be arguing about, like did Kansas get in or not? So one day it's gonna go there too. But this is actually
It,
better than what it's been. You know what I mean, guys?
it will be. I mean, because like this year would be horrible if you just had to try to pick four teams to do it. I mean, this would be
Yeah,
absolutely horrendous trying to do four teams. It will
yeah,
probably get to 16 because, like you said, we're sitting here looking at like you say, and I know Corey was saying that, and it's you got to go. But like you start looking at teams at the bottom. Colorado's 18, but they can hop in there. A&M is
yeah.
still there. Army is
Hmm.
16, and they're right there. Clemson still has a chance to
They
win, and can win the ACC championship. So it's a good mess,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Yeah, yeah. This is the positive side of adding these teams. But I still have a bias to where the limiting all this. But hey, man, it's fun, man, and it
Yeah,
opens up more
long as they
conversation.
don't put Colorado in, you don't care.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going for BYU, guys. I hope BYU wins that big. What is it? Big 12 conference. Yeah, I hope they pull it out. All right, guys.
All
All
right, man.
right. Anything
Fellas,
else,
y'all
man?
have a
Before we
great
roll
weekend.
out?
All right,
All
man.
right. All right. Y'all take it easy. We catch everybody next week.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
take it easy.